Hello, love wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Start off with the biggest news of the week. The Rats lost!
But every night I'm making new best friends, and the only problem is we like having a good time. Forget yourself now.
If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Listen between two beers.
Getting down.
Hello, love wrestling. It is Thursday night, and it is 8 p.m. And y'all know what that means. It's episode 21.
Oh, yeah?
That's what it says up there. It
Does it
says
say
episode.
20?
It actually says episode 21. We've been doing this for 3 weeks. It's been all right,
dude.
We've been, trying new things.
Yeah, it does. It's this episode. Yeah,
Is this supposed to be what? What is that supposed to be?
210. 210.
210. That's it. I thought we were already.
So for some reason, when I type on this, sometimes it kicks me over to the end of whatever's in the bar. I don't know why. I fixed it. It says 210. But you know what it really means? It means that it's going to be a sad day for NBA conspiracy theorists as the Indiana Pacers are 2 hours away from the NBA Finals.
That's tonight. That's happening right as we are
right
live.
now. Our boy Tyrese Halliburton's about to lay it down. And then the Oklahoma City Thunder made it yesterday. So, yeah, the NBA is totally rigged because two of the biggest markets in NBA are making.
Let me tell you, the NBA, the commish is just sitting behind the desk going, man, we're buckets, man. Buckets of money with these Oklahoma City and Indiana.
Yeah.
Two terrific TV markets, I'm sure.
Yeah, because, last week it was the NBA's rigged, man. Cooper Flag to Dallas. Yeah, because they really wanted the Knicks out of the finals, Boston out of the finals, LeBron out of the final. Come on, haters. Anyway, shout out to the Indiana Pacers, baby. I'm not a Pacers fan, but I am from Indiana.
Haven't done anything. So. They haven't done anything yet. Let's not look at it. I know it looks good. The Knicks are trash, dude.
It's sad when the Knicks that all the talk today was what are the Knicks going to do next year and how they're going to blow this up to retool.
Yeah,
and it's like
to retool the season they got lucky on to get to where they are.
Hey,
anyway,
we got some people in the chat. You want to shout them out before we bring on our?
Not really. I mean, I will. I don't really care. We got David.
You don't care about the people in the chat?
Of course I do.
You gotta care about our people. I mean, Majid's over here calling me a sexy beast.
I will not be acknowledging him. So we have Fernando, we have Maria, we have Ryan. Oh, Sullivan's here. Sullivan's
here to make sure things go smoothly.
Yeah, we got David here. Yeah, Maria. We don't need big markets all the time in the finals, but the league wants big markets all the time in the finals. You drinking a 7-Up, bro?
Yeah, 7-Up, zero sugar tropical. Yeah,
that is so lame, dude. That is so lame. That's like if I was like, hey, man, you drinking a water? And you were like, yeah, man, I'm drinking a pomegranate berry. Fuck. And I go, that's not fucking water.
That sounds that sounds delicious.
I bet it does, but that's not water. Okay, that's you're drinking a juice that's not water. That's 7-Up though. But 7-Up's come on, lemon lime, man, get it together.
Hey, it's the new flavor. I had to try it. I don't drink a ton of pop, but I like, and I also prefer zero sugar drinks. So
that's fair. That's fair. PLUGGO.
Yeah,
we got somebody on the show tonight.
We do. We do. I had nothing to do with this. This was all you're doing.
Yeah.
Or her doing.
She reached out. They reached out to me. They were like, hey. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, they really want to be on our show.
Then we find out that they have booked themselves on every show that Love Wrestling has to offer.
Yeah.
Before our show.
And if I would have known that.
We got scolded in the boss's office.
We did.
Being like,
we got spoken to.
Come on, guys. We're like, we didn't do anything. But anyway.
If I would have known, I would not have
know her. You love her. She's absolutely the worst retired media personality of all time.
The worst.
The worst.
Okay, we need to get the story straight. Hold up. I wanted to come on last week to do predictions, and I was told no because I cannot keep blowing up guest spots. So I was like, fine. I won't predict the show.
We had Auntie Collins on last week.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I was like, fine, whatever.
I don't know what I did yesterday.
So then I got a message about doing brunch, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I could do double duty. I reached out to JPJ. This isn't my fault. If you just have
and then I said, and I'm gonna wait because we're under 10 minutes in. And then I said, I don't play second fiddle to anybody. To anybody. That's what I said.
Again, you have my phone number, Kimmy. I was not a part of it. But
yes, Kimmy did message me last week, the night before our show. And she was like, hey, I'm going to be at Double or Nothing this weekend. We should do some predictions. And I said, and we already released that we had a guest on already.
Oh, no.
And I said, you got to stop reaching out to me after we book guests.
Auntie and Kimmy would have been a fun.
Listen,
a good show.
Yeah. And I also was like, if Auntie's all right with it, and then I told Kim, and that was it. And then when Kimmy reached out to me, she was like,
"You
do you have
never said is Collins okay with it?"
I didn't.
Don't try to make yourself the hero in this.
I am the hero because I kept the guest integrity. And I said, "Listen, we already booked someone, Kimmy. Tough shit." That's what I said.
Oh,
that's what I said. And then she didn't even respond. And I was like, "Wow."
Oh, why are you being mean to Kimmy?
I wasn't mean. I said it very respectfully. No, I said it very respectfully.
Fine, whatever.
I said it very respectfully, and she understood. And then she went to work for the weekend. And then when she reached out to me and said, "Do you have a guest on this Thursday?" Do you know what my response was? My response was, "Yeah, you." Oh. That's how I. Yeah, that was sweet. That was sweet of me.
I know. Yeah. I was very appreciative.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fernando says everyone's the hero in their own story.
Don't paint me out to be some villain because we had another guest that I was like, we got to honor the guest.
And you did. Very good job.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Thanks.
Hi, Kimmy. How are you? How was Arizona?
Hot as hell. Let me tell you. So, New York, it's been like 50 degrees. Arizona, it's 102. So I boarded the plane with like a hoodie on and flat pants because I was cold.
Yeah, but you gotta know that. You gotta know that.
I walked out of the airport. I go, holy crap! It is hot as hell. And then I went in the pool, and then I was a-okay. I did not get tan because I was mostly in the shade because that heat is dry, and I was gonna burn in 20 minutes. I learned my lesson. But yeah, we had a good time. I was not just there for Double or Nothing. I was actually working. Max had a signing at his toy store. That went very well. He told me to echo the sentiment that he hurts people. But instead of him just hurting people, it's him and the Hurt Syndicate. No one else hurts people but them. He told me to spread the wealth and let everybody know.
And friendly reminder to everybody that when Kimmy is on, every time she name drops, we take a drink.
Correct.
Of our
promoting
7-Up
my
Tropical.
Correct. I will not be taking a drink.
Because you got to drive the ship.
Yeah. And I had a good time last week on a certain show.
I
got a little wrecked on the show.
Oh, by the way, I have not talked to you since, but I was absolutely, without a doubt, unequivocally right on Mercedes Moné.
Yeah, I still think it was the wrong decision.
Well, you should have rolled with me. We might have had. You still might have still had that championship.
No, listen. Hey, it is what it is. I was okay with losing that because even though I'm a Mercedes guy, I think the right decision was Jamie Hayter. So it is what it is. That match was great. The promo segment that we'll talk about with Tony and Mercedes last night it's over 10 minutes. Fucking excellent. Excellent. So I sit here as a defeated man, but I sit here saying, no, I'm okay with it because that promo, look at it. Even me thinking that Hayter was the better decision, obviously the biggest match they have is Tony and Mercedes. It's the biggest match they have. And last night's promo got me very, very excited for it. It's going to be a great match. Mercedes said they're going to have the best women's match of all time. And they very well could. I still think heading into Double or Nothing, not the right decision, but the better decision for me, because I prefer stories over just big time matches all the time. Sometimes I thought the better match for me was Jamie Hayter.
Shep, the champ, is here to tell you thought wrong.
It's okay.
You thought wrong.
It is what it is.
But yeah, and then Majin saying that was the best episode of the Kicking Out podcast of all time.
That's what I've heard. I don't remember the last 20 minutes or so. But
JPJ.
Listen, it's very rare, but I threw one on.
I felt bad for anybody that has to listen to that audio of that. I can't speak today.
Yeah,
because that was all over the place.
I threw one on. It's a good time.
Yeah, Kimmy. Yeah, Kimmy.
But we lost. What other?
Yeah, I don't know. I just said yeah, Kimmy. Can I say yeah, Kimmy? Or am I not allowed to say yeah, Kimmy?
No, I guess you are. I thought you were blaming me for something. I was getting very
not yet. It's still early though. We're only 12 minutes in.
Yeah, we're 12 minutes in. I was gonna say JPJ probably has a list of like 5 things he's blaming me for already. Let's be real.
I don't have any list at all, Kimmy.
Oh, this is so great.
The only list that I know is that this week in your world, I was at least number 2.
Oh,
so that's all I know. That's the only list I know of, Pluggo.
I wasn't even on the list, JPJ.
You and I are together. You
Oh.
and I were both number 2. This is our show. We were number 2.
Technically, I'm not even supposed to be here. So technically, there was no list.
What do you mean you're not supposed to be here? What, are we doing something wrong?
No, it's not you guys. It's me.
She's breaking the rules.
I'm breaking the rules. I am the problem.
So so is this, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the hard-hitting questions here. You're retired from media and podcasting. You retired in December, and you have been on, is it just the strictly like, I have the itch to keep doing this? Has the game changed in Kimmy's life where she's like, now I can do this again? I mean, listen, I saw today that Marty and Sarah Loves Wrestling, the podcast, Marty and Sarah, they do a wrestling podcast. They came out of retirement today. It happens. People do that. They leave the space. They come back. What's going on here? What's the scoop? Give us the scoops.
I'm going to be very honest. I told you both this before. I actually asked permission to go on the scrum from the person who kind of told me to step away from a while because I wanted to make sure it was okay. Nothing has changed. It's just opportunities happen. Things happen. You know, when certain people are asking you, hey, can you do this? Or, hey, we want you on this scrum. And this person's a pretty higher up. I don't think you tell that person no.
Fair. Scrums are, I'm at the podcast excited. We're not higher up on any list. We're not asking you.
We're not.
I had nothing to do.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you're not watching your New York Knicks play basketball right now?
No, that's what my parents are.
Oh,
and they went to a
Can
bar.
you go after the show? Can you tell them that their team is trash
No, because we're not really basketball people.
But they're watching them.
Yeah, because it's a Thursday night and they were able to go to a bar.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can always go to a bar on a Thursday night if you really want to.
Yeah, you can always go to a bar any night of the week.
Yeah, that's true. Most nights.
Most.
Wouldn't recommend going most nights, but you know.
I worked at a bar for a minute. You can spend a lot of time in a bar.
You sure can. You sure can. All right, Kimmy.
All right, JPJ.
Double or Nothing.
Whew.
It's a good one.
What a show.
It was a real good one. It was a real good one. Real good.
Was it an all-timer? Was it the best Double or Nothing of all time?
Listen, we have a thing that we do. It's called like immediately because it's recent and we just saw it. I feel like a lot of people jump to big time claims.
Yeah.
It was a very, very good show. I think it was the best pay-per-view they've had this year. I think there were elements. I thought it was the best Anarchy in the Arena match of all time. Of all time. I thought the main event was excellent. I thought every match was good with there was some that were like, good, but like, they were fine. But most of the matches were great or better. I don't know if I would consider it an all-time AEW pay-per-view, but I mean, I understand why people might. It was very good. Very, very good. But I think it's a thing of like 6 months from now, how do we feel about it? You know what I mean? Kind of thing. More than, I feel like if it's so immediate, sometimes you swayed because you just saw it.
Sure.
I don't know. Do you think it's one of the best of all time, Kimmy?
Oh, I was gonna let Pluggo go.
I asked the question. You guys answer the question. That's why I asked the question to get your guys' opinions.
I think being there in person was a whole different experience. I think if I wasn't there in person, I think I would have had a different opinion. But I will say the Mercedes Jamie match, and I've been to a lot of shows. I was at the first Evolution, and like this isn't a brag. It's me saying that was the loudest I've ever heard a crowd for a women's match, which is insane. That's amazing. Watching now. I can't thank the people who got me there, but I was able to watch the majority of the show front row on the floor. And I was invited to sit with some top agents. It's true. I really had no intentions of doing this. And I got a text. They're like, can you come sit with us? And I'm like, sure. Watching Anarchy in the Arena on the floor was insane because they're fighting all around you. At one point, Nick and Matt Jackson, I was sitting with their agent and they're like screaming for him, like, hi Barry, look guys, it's Barry Bloom, oh my god. And I'm like, I cannot, oh my, this is insane. But yeah, I think definitely for me that Double or Nothing 2025 and Revolution 2024 are my top two AEW papers I've been to live. But to answer your question, if I wasn't there in person, I would have had a different answer, but I think because I was there, it is my favorite Double or Nothing.
Boom. See, there you go.
It's fair. Revolution.
I thought it was the worst of all time. No, I'm just joking.
Wow. That's harsh.
I can name the other Double or Nothing I went to 2023. I would consider as one of the worst of all time, in my opinion.
That's fair. Again, I think it's the best pay-per-view. Shep is saying it was the best pay-per-view they've had in over a year. That's what he's saying. Yeah, dude, it was quite excellent. I think Revolution, the last two Revolutions have been real good, real good. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess if you were saying maybe like a top 5 or so, it'd probably be in the discussion. It was excellent, man. But I mean, All Out 2021 is, I mean, that's with Adam Cole and Bryan, and at the end of that show, from top to bottom, is maybe the best they've ever done. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's some back there that I don't think we think about a lot because of the more recent one. All I'll say is AEW has been on fire for like the better part of the last 3 to 5 months. But they've been on fire. And that pay-per-view was real good. And now we have 7 weeks to build to their biggest show of the year. And they built stories during that pay-per-view for that show. And Dynamite last night, I thought, was good and layered the foundation for some of the stories for the next 45 or 44 days at this point And then we have a 4-hour Dynamite next week.
Gross.
What the hell? Next
Not
2 weeks.
Not because it's gonna.
2
Not
weeks.
because it's not gonna be good. I just don't want to stay up till midnight.
The next 2 weeks, 4-hour shows, man, on a Wednesday.
I
don't
didn't
know
watch.
who made that decision.
I didn't
Come on.
watch all of Dynamite last night. I only watched the Hangman Ospreay segment because
terrific.
I didn't get back from Little League until like 10 o'clock. It was a
Bro.
long day yesterday.
Bro.
But
That ending promo.
But I will say this, and we'll get into it when we talk about more of the match. But to all of the people that think it's Darby Allin to take the title off Mox, need to put that to bed. Need to just put that to bed.
Nope.
Shut up. Let me talk. Don't do your thing. Don't do that thing.
No.
Don't do that thing where you shut me down before I even make my point. Put it to bed. Hangman last night absolutely showed why it has to be him, and it should be him. And that was a fantastic segment. He is the right person. It would be absolutely absurd for Darby Allin to just show back up after climbing a mountain and being gone for months and going, I'm taking that title. Nope, it's got to be Hangman. It's going to be Hangman. If it's not Hangman, that's absolute company malpractice, Tony Khan. Hangman all day. He sold me a ticket last night. I'm sorry, you Darby Allin stands. He's not the guy right now. Maybe in like a year, but not right now. He ain't even there. And we're all like, it's got to be Darby. Hangman Page is right there, killing it, giving you the best work of his career. Give it to him. Don't give it. Don't do it again, Tony Khan. Don't do it again. Don't pull the wolves under my eyes there again. Don't do it. I told you would do it with Swerve. I told him he would do it with Swerve at Dynasty. Don't do it at All In. Give it to Hangman. Do it. Don't be a coward.
Pluggo, I would prepare.
Don't be a coward. Yeah, see, no, don't do it. He's not going to do it. He won't do it again.
I would prepare.
I would prepare. That belt is too pretty to not.
I want to know why JPJ is so confident.
He's been on this Darby Allin kick for years. It's annoying.
No, I've been on the Darby Allin kick since the beginning of the Death Rider story because it was Darby Allin is the reason we're in this.
Well, then he shouldn't have left to go climb a mountain. He shouldn't have got hit by a bus. He's not reliable in the sense of like, you always get hurt, Darby. Darby's not the guy.
I don't want to pick Darby over Hangman. I love Hangman. It's my favorite wrestler in the world.
Pick Hangman and pick with your heart. Stop picking with your head. Pick with your heart. It's Darby's out. It's Hangman's time. Let's go.
Listen.
Don't do it. Don't do that logical thing. Don't do it. Have some heart.
I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I don't. Yeah.
As of right now, I still feel like Moxley is going to beat Hangman because I think the Bucks are going to do something to Hangman. And I think we're getting Swerve and Hangman versus the Bucks, and I think it's not going to be with Hangman as the heavyweight champion.
But that's not going to happen at All In.
No, it's going to happen after All In.
Nope, because Swerve is going to make sure it doesn't happen.
That's what Phil is saying. He shouldn't follow his dreams. Pluggo.
No, he should follow his dreams. But everybody, this is the thing that we did in the WWE with The Rock, where we're like, he might come back. So we're going to hold off all of this other stuff for The Rock. Oh, well, it's got to be Darby because of something that happened so long ago that nobody remembers because he's been gone for so long. And Hangman, I'm saying this is like, he's the guy, right? Just do it. I'm not saying don't follow your dreams. Follow your dreams, but that doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and keep holding out and keep burning through credible people because you're off chasing your dreams because we're going to wait for you to come back. Like Hangman's right now, he's the hottest he's ever been. Everybody's invested. Everyone is behind him, even more so than they were with Swerve. Give it to Hangman. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Can I give my 2 cents on this?
You can do whatever you want, Kimmy. I had to get that out of it, sitting on it all day.
So here's the thing. First off, you don't know when Darby is. I'm not disagreeing or agreeing with everybody. I'm going to give everyone's point here. First of all, you do not know when Darby is coming back because here's the thing. Your body takes time to adjust.
Oh, yeah.
He's still on the mountain as we speak.
Exactly. So he might not even be. I'm not saying he's going to return it all in, but there's not even a chance he might be coming back till like the fall of 2025. Right.
That's early. That's the earliest.
And then the other thing is, how could you have Yalin without Hangman in a marquee match? It's great marketing and promotional tactics.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think that we all know Tony Khan booking to be
Yep.
very, very in the weeds, not in the weeds, whatever way you want to see it. So I can see both scenarios, but I think if the women do not main event, and
I think the
right now we do not know, if the women do not main event, I think the closing shot is Hangman winning the title and him having a stare-off with Swerve to set up Swerve versus Hangman for the title at All Out.
Hello, Mrs. Pluggo. She must have heard me yelling. Don't let your dreams be. Listen, I'm with you. I was with you like at Dynasty when everybody was on the Swerve train. I said he's going to do it. He's going to do it one more time. He's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. He can't keep doing it. And like you said, the fall pay-per-view with that full gear. That's
or
in like
Out, because All Out.
Yeah,
All Out.
All Out. Sure, I don't really consider that the fall.
Or Wrestle Dreams October.
Sure. So we're gonna keep doing this till October. We're just gonna keep going until because Darby's the guy. Maybe I'm just not. I just don't think Darby's the world. I just don't think he's the world champ.
Okay, and that's fine. Listen, I'm not saying that Darby is world champion material over Hangman either. And I would love, and again, at all in, I hope it's Hangman. I do. I love Hangman Adam Page. But at the same time, if you're asking me right now about the story, I still think Darby is the end game of this. He's the start and the end of the.
But he started the story, left the whole thing. He's just going to show back up on a skateboard and go.
Well, he left the whole thing because the Death Riders murdered him.
And then
there's another way you could do this, though.
Yeah.
There's another way you could do this. So you could have Hangman win in Texas, and then someone else in the Death Riders reclaim the title instead of Moxley. Like you could have Claudio or like somebody else win, and then that person, that's who Darby beats. And that's the final coffin. Okay. That is how you could do it.
Yes, but also Jon Moxley wouldn't be AEW World Champion if it wasn't for Darby Allin, and it wasn't for him bullying and gaslighting Darby into giving him the title shot.
Fair, that's Darby's fault.
I agree.
Darby's an idiot.
And I understand a lot of time has passed, and I understand that most of our brains, it's forgotten. But at the end of the day, if you are asked, oh, how did this Death Riders story start? That's where it starts.
But it doesn't have to finish there.
No, but the logical thing would be
okay. When's anything ever been logical?
I don't know. Listen, AEW's been pretty logical lately. It's been so damn good.
This is something that they need to swerve off of here and just give it to Hangman in Texas.
Again, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to definitely pick. Plans change all the time in wrestling. I'm not going to. It's not like I'm sitting here saying Moxley's definitely going to win. But a part of me, because of this story. But listen, how is this story gone? We've sat here 3 or 4 times thinking this was it.
But I'm saying, I haven't. I'm saying this is it. This is the one. This is where I'm stamping my my flag.
I agree.
I'm planting my flag all up in some cowboy shit.
Yeah. And
saying,
I agree. I think Hangman is, they call him it in the story now, but he's been the main guy. He's the guy the fans want. Yeah, this does seem like the logical choice seems very easily to just have Hangman be the guy to do it. I can't fully trust that that's the way it's going to go. That's all.
I think JPJ is too corrupted by how the other company works sometimes.
I'm corrupted by how this story's worked.
I like that.
Because Swerve should have beat him. And that's not the only person that should have beat him.
Who else should have beat him?
Swerve was the big one.
Swerve was like, yeah, and that's what I understood that one. I was like, okay.
Swerve was the big one.
You're going to do that. All right. You can't, that's the thing. That's you can't get too cute with this stuff. Because over the time that Darby has been out of the equation, out of the story for whatever reason, that's fine. Other things have happened and other people have absolutely lapped Darby in the sense of I just don't know how you bring him back into the fold and immediately go, okay, he's back. What is he? And we just take the title off of Mox like right away. Like, all right, cool. And then it's just like, oh, that was kind of a bummer ending to the story of like all this other stuff that we did that was really cool. We're cooking right now. We're on a trajectory. Like you said, they're killing it over the last 5 months. Because Hangman has elevated his game, Swerve's elevated his game, Ospreay's elevated his game. Oh, Darby's back. We're just going to do what we were going to do a year and a half ago. Okay. Well, shit.
I get
Sucks for all those dudes that work their asses off. And no, again, do your thing. You're just not. I don't know. That'd be a weird book to read.
Maybe.
That's a weird book. Like show up in chapter 1, completely leave the scenario, and then just show up at the finale and go, "Yep, it's mine."
Hey man,
I don't know. So mad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe I'm just not a Darby guy.
And I'm not a Darby guy. I'm not. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It feels to me that it should be Hangman. I mean, it feels like he has all the momentum, and it should be him to save.
And y'all in.
Y'all in. Yeehaw!
That's what it feels like.
Are you going to y'all in, Cammy Sokol?
I have a meeting tomorrow to discuss everything.
Oh.
Damn. That
With
must be
who?
nice.
Like the president of the world?
I cannot disclose who my meeting is with.
See, it's somebody. She's like,
yeah.
It's so high up there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
How many NDAs have you signed in your life? Just one. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to sign another.
They're going to be like, hey, remember when we said to stop doing media? That's exactly why we said it.
Yeah.
I said this. I said this to Sean the other day. I'm like, remember when they had me sign this NDA? He's like, yeah, but you've never broken. I'm like, you're right. I haven't.
Because if you, it would be against the law technically if you did.
These higher up people are going to be like, you're on this show Between Two Beards multiple times. That sounds inappropriate. Yeah, and you're going to be like, yeah, they're like, who are these fools? Don't ever associate with these bums again.
No.
Yeah.
That needs to be in your contract. You say I am allowed to do this show and this show only when you make it to the big leagues.
All right.
For the love of the game clause, you're only allowed to do Between Two Beards.
Love of the game. All right. So I will disclose this with my agent and my manager.
Fair.
I got you.
That's right.
All right.
Not that I have either one of those two things. Well, I low key have an agent, but I will.
I low key just got a text that my son starts college courses next fall.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Getting old.
I'm getting old. Yeah. Jesus.
Getting old, man.
Jesus. I had to call him this week and ask him what his work schedule was. I was like, are you able to come hang out with your dad? Or are you working? And he's like, I got to work on Sunday.
He's like, I'm working, bro.
He's like, I'm working.
Obviously. Working for the weekend, man.
I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
There was a lot of it.
What was your favorite match from Double or Nothing? We already talked about Anarchy at the Arena. What was your favorite match, JPJ and Kimmy? I mean,
listen.
I'll let JPJ go first.
It was Anarchy in the Arena. How could
I said outside of Anarchy.
Oh, outside of that.
I said we already talked about that one a little bit. We didn't get into minutia of it, but we did mention it was one of the best. It was the best of all time.
If I had to pick one of them, I mean, that main event was spectacular with Heyman and Ospreay. It was spectacular. If we're throwing that one out, I enjoyed Okada and Speedball. I enjoyed that one.
Shout out to Speedball, by the way, for getting Big Match Kazu out of that thing.
Yeah,
Big Match Okada was in the building. He was taking them kicks like a champ.
Okada had the working boots on. That was Big Match. That was Big Match Okada.
Boom.
And it was a great match. It was a great match. I know Kimmy already mentioned the opening match with the ladies. That was spectacular. The main event was spectacular. But yeah, if I had to pick one outside of Anarchy in the Arena, I can't overlook the main event. I thought that was, man, great, just great stuff.
Love the opener. I would also put Tony and Mina.
That was a good one.
However, I thought their match at Forbidden Door was better.
Yeah.
I think the crowd was kind of tired, and I think I can't disclose too much of this, but I think if they would have brought Mariah back, it would have been a little fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was pushing that hard last
Mm.
week and got shut down immediately. And I sat there the whole match just going, I had a tweet ready and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have told you. You should have texted me. I would have been like, it's not happening, bro.
Yeah.
Well, you don't text me, so I don't know if we're actually friends.
I'm gonna text you right now, Pluggo.
Well, that doesn't count.
I did. Listen, I did see some murmurs of some like fake accounts starting to spread the rumor that Mariah May is going to the WWE, and I did see Fightful. I did see Fightful said nope, that's not happening. But so yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think, in all honesty, though, I know that that's the rumor that she's headed to NXT, yada yada yada, and NXT has cleared some space for some new arrivals if they wanted this week. But I would argue, I would caution if there's a chance for Tony Khan to sign her, I think he should. I think he should try to give her whatever she needs to be there, because I think that there's still some good stuff she could do in AEW. But if she moves on, she moves on. Anyway,
I would prefer her to stay in AEW.
Yeah, I think that it would make the most sense. But again, you do whatever you want to do as a wrestler. You go wherever you want to go. I'm never going to get mad at somebody for leaving a company and going elsewhere. But I think that there's still a lot she could do in AEW.
I think the next couple months are going to be very interesting.
Oh, okay. Kimmy. I love how Kimmy comes on the show and drops these, and then we're gonna ask her, "What do you mean by that?" And she go, "Can't say anything."
Yeah, she knows. Kimmy knows everything that's happening over the next 4 months in AEW.
I definitely do not.
She does.
I was trying to find this out Sunday, and it was.
And she's the worst at pretending. And she's the worst when it comes to not like. She wants everyone to know that she knows, but pretend that she doesn't know. You know what I mean?
I've gotten so much better.
Last time Kimmy texted me is when I released the footage of you busting tables at Topgolf.
That was
It was your birthday.
Footage.
It was great footage. That was my birthday. That was great footage. Great footage.
I've been begging Pluggo to release that shit for months.
I know, it worked out perfect for us.
Yeah, that was a good time.
But I liked what was your match, Kimmy? What was your favorite match?
I said Tony. I said the opener. But since we talked about that already, I said Tony and Nina.
Say that was that match.
Yeah, Jamie and Mercedes was.
I'm not salty, Scott. I'm just vibing. I'm vibing. It's just 7-Up Zero Sugar Tropical. It's got me feeling a certain way. Listen, I don't do a ton of podcasts throughout the week, and I don't. So I have been kind of sitting on this Darby take for a few days where I'm just like, this story makes sense. So I had to get that out, and I only get it out here, and then I have to listen to JPJ tell me how wrong I am. But
first of all, I don't come at it that way at all. I don't sit here and say you're wrong.
You love to be right, though. So when it happens, you're gonna go, "I told you." Like,
exactly. I kind of see the thing
you
that happens.
You gotta prepare.
See, I didn't say you're wrong. I just said just prepare.
I'm not gonna prepare. I'm not gonna.
In case.
I'm not dipping my toe in the Hangman pool. I'm cannonballing straight into that thing.
Naked. And I'll be I won't be buck naked, but I'll be cannonballing there. I want Hangman to be the guy.
I think we did a little disservice. You said we kind of talked the opener.
No, the opener was incredible.
Hear me out though. On top of that, so the opener of Double or Nothing was Mercedes and Jamie, and the opener of BattleGround was Kalani and Soul. And both of those matches in their own right, I know they were different styles.
Yeah,
rule.
Yeah, very good.
A heck of a way to open both shows. But Jamie and Mercedes might have had an all-time women's match in AEW history. Like I thought it was
amazing. I thought Jamie was,
obviously that kicked out at 2.99999. No way they pulled that off. If there's one slip up, that's a whole nother outcome.
Yeah. I thought, man, Mercedes has just been on a roll for a long while now, but I thought that opening match was spectacular. I thought Jamie Hayter looked so good in that match.
Now, Kimmy?
I think this was Jamie's best match since returning from injury last year. Hands down.
So what do we do with Mercedes now? She's going after Tony. You guys said the promo ruled. I haven't caught all the way through everything yet that way, so I'll take your word for it. But she's still our TBS champion.
I think she's going to lose the TBS title along the way.
Is she going to be? What do you think? What do you think of her being the first double champ?
No.
I mean, AEW double champ. You don't think that they're going to do that with her?
I think there's too many women in that company to do that gimmick with, to be honest. And I think if you do that, you are leaving a women's match on the table at your biggest show of the year. Because then you know for 100% you're going to have Tony and Mercedes. And if Mercedes is still the TBS champion, that leaves a women's match out of that card. And you know AEW usually only has 2 main matches on a card. It's very rare that they have 3. So then you can make the argument that if they keep that title on Mercedes, there's a very good chance the only women's match on the main card, I'm not talking about the buy-in, is going to be Tony and Mercedes. And that is horrendous. I think your women's division is on such a roll right now. You need to get that TBS title off of her. And I think Mina Shirakawa is the person to do it.
I was just going to ask, who do you think is ready to take the title off of Mercedes if you don't double champ it?
I think storyline-wise, it makes sense. Mina lost to her in Japan at that show in January. She was the reason she lost the New Japan Strong title because that other girl pinned Mina, didn't even pin Mercedes. And this is where Mina could be like, hey, you're too distracted with my friend Tony Storm over here. I want a shot. And that's how you do it. And then Tony helps Mina win. And Mina's the TBS champ. And then you open up the line to so many people that could challenge Mina for that title at All In. So I definitely 100% believe that she needs to lose that TBS title. I believe she's going to lose the Rev Pro title along the way too. I think there's like some big Rev Pro show at the end of June that people were saying she might lose it on. But I think by the time she gets to All In, she will not be a champ. And then she will defeat Tony Storm.
JPJ, who do you think would pull Mina the choice?
See, my only problem with this, right?
Ooh.
Oh, no.
I think Kimmy is probably right.
Oh, thank you.
I think Kimmy is probably right. I agree with her take that you're like, if she is the double champion heading in, or if she's TBS champion heading into that, she's not going to fight twice. I know MJF fought twice on All In last year, but Mercedes is not fighting twice.
Yeah.
Right. So that
doesn't work for her brother.
Yeah. And if I think that match should main event the whole show, to be honest with you, I don't know if it will. If it does, though, like Kimmy said, Hangman's not definitely not winning. If it does, if the ladies are main event, Hangman's definitely not winning. But I digress.
Okay.
I think Mercedes, but this is part of the reason why, again, I picked Hayter, because I thought if Hayter wins, you can have Hayter and Tony with their backstory, and then that frees up Mercedes to go against Athena in Texas for the TBS championship, and you get 2 giant matches instead of 1 slightly more giant match.
All right.
But along the way, what about Athena? We think I do like the Mina call out. I think that's good.
Mina and Athena at All In. That'd be cool.
Because obviously, and again, we haven't even got through most of the Double or Nothing card, or just talking about the other things that happened. But we saw a new women's wrestler debut last night and take out Jamie Hayter. So that is going to be a first big feud for this person. I don't know if that will end up in a match at all. Because, again, I guess the only thing I don't like is I don't think Mercedes needs to be undefeated. That was another reason why I thought she should have lost, because it was in a tournament and it didn't really matter, and it was just an easy way to give her first loss where it doesn't matter, really. But
did you just say the Owen Hart tournament doesn't matter?
No, you know what I meant.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. Peggy said I don't believe in chasing dreams in the chat, so I just had to get one over on you. How about this though? It is okay. It is All In. It's in Texas. Everything's bigger than Texas. What are the chances we get Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné, winner take all? What are the chances he does it? What if TK's like, everything's bigger in Texas? This would be biggest women matches all time, biggest stakes ever.
Then it goes back to my point.
I know. I agree. This is where my head goes with these things.
I
don't think they should do that either.
That would be bad, because even if Mercedes is still like the Rev Pro champ at that point, and let's just say Tony wins, you're saying that Tony's going to hold now like 3 championships, 4 belts. We're doing that.
Maybe you just keep it AEW titles, right? You know what I mean? You don't have to get cute like that, but you could. They could. I think it'd be crazy, but they could.
Yeah,
could do it. They could.
I'm just now that now that she's
undefeated. But is Mercedes losing on the road to All In? Does that?
That's what I was going to say.
That hurts a little bit, but it's Mercedes. I think she could.
But it shows vulnerability. It shows that she can be beaten. It gives the perception of Tony can do it because now she has a loss.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Yeah, the losing on the way, especially since they've been talking now more off. They talk a lot more about her being undefeated. That's become part of the thing. Is that I feel like they mention it almost every time they talk about her that she's undefeated now. So I feel like, wouldn't you want Tony to be the one that gives her the first L?
Yeah, maybe Tony
at All In, and instead of her losing on the way. But I do agree that her not being the TBS champion and opening up a second title match for the ladies at All In is something that is necessary. I don't know.
Christopher Harris in the chat saying the week in wrestling. Boy, was it
a week, bro.
And if you're having fun, smash that like button, hit subscribe, share it out. Tell every one of your friends. Kimmy Sokol's here.
Yeah.
The world famous. She talks to people that run the world.
That is true.
Apparently I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
That is true.
We know. Yeah, I thought we're on a very interesting in a good way road to All In. I think there's a lot of fun possibilities. There's a lot of cool things happening. So AEW, good for you. Good for you. You guys are killing it. I love it.
Well, FTR, savages, just savages. They beat Nigel and Daniel.
Yeah, they did,
and they beat him pretty easy. I mean, this wasn't even really.
Hold on. You're discrediting. Daniel never tapped out.
That's fair. Okay, that's still a loss. Passing up.
This was easy.
Well,
Daniel never quit.
But listen, all I'm saying is the majority of this match, FTR handled business. All right, they handled business.
That was the theme of the match.
Most of that match. Nigel took a beating.
You were sitting front row for that. Were you crying?
Nigel took a beating.
No, I was there. I was very busy trying to talk to Barry Bloom.
What Kimmy was trying to say is I was too busy staring at Daniel Garcia.
No, I was really talking.
No, she's trying to get. Listen, if you're sitting next to a guy like that, you get in his good graces. That's what you do.
Exactly.
You try to get in his good graces, so he's like, "Who's he? Who are you?" When you're like, hi.
We met for the first time. For those who don't know who Barry Bloom is, he is the top agent in all of wrestling.
Yes.
We met for the first time. We were networking. We were connecting. I was very busy I joked actually with Barry. I said, guys, see Daniel, that's gonna be my client one day. And Barry nodded his head. He goes, I think so, Kimmy. And I was like, aha.
There you go. Everyone take 9 shots. No, because she had to mention that the same name. The same name she had to mention 4 times.
She just texted me that. How is that name calling though? Because I named an agent. That's not name dropping. You asked me if I was.
You
crying.
said no. Listen, it's not name dropping. If you're like, yeah, I was chatting with Barry Bloom and we were having a good time. You went. I was chatting with Barry Bloom, and for those that don't know, he's the top wrestling agent in the world.
And then it was exactly. And then right after that, it was you were just like, oh yeah. So I was. Then I said to Barry, and then I was like, oh guys, look at this Barry. I said Barry about fucking
we love it.
times.
Alice in the house, always name dropping, Kimmy. That's what she said in the chat.
Well, she's not.
I know you're working, but you're always welcome here. All you have to do is DM us if you're not working.
Yeah.
She just texted me, you name dropper.
Listen, at this point, it's canon. We know.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
We know. When you get a drinking game made up because of you, did we lose Pluggo?
I'm right here.
Oh no, you're right there. All right, you were frozen for me for like 3 seconds. And you were frozen when you were going like this, so it looked like you were having a good time.
Stretching. My body is rejecting me at 39.
Wait till you get to 40, babe.
I actually was thinking about that today. I was like, if I feel like this at 39, I can't imagine what 49 feels like.
Man.
I'm gonna be in a wheelchair.
What a time, dude. What a time.
Say that, Pluggo.
What do you mean? Get to retire
Then you're gonna be
early.
in a wheelchair
Oh.
by 49.
Nah, dude. I'll take it. Listen.
Yeah, FTR. I knew they were going to win that thing because he got to establish them and with Stokely and beating Nigel McGuinness, who is beloved by everybody, Daniel Garcia, who's also very beloved by everybody, especially Kimmy Sokol. You know, that was the move. Daniel Garcia showing all heart. I did love Daniel Garcia showing a lot of heart at the end there. I think that was a good wrinkle. I feel bad for Daniel Garcia, man. He's always in these matches where it's like we're not winning this one.
To be honest, I would have rather seen this match on Collision. I feel like the crowd wasn't that, even though I'm a big Daniel fan. I feel like the crowd wasn't really that invested in this.
Yeah,
like they just saw Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné.
Yeah, like this match and the 6-man that we're going to talk about later with Adam. I felt like those two matches could have easily been on Collision. It didn't need to be on the pay-per-view. I get because Nigel, obviously, he got to wrestle. He doesn't do that quite often, so from that standpoint, I get it. But we didn't really necessarily need this on the pay-per-view, especially because what I thought was going to happen was I thought Daniel was going to turn heel and align with FTR, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think that other 6-man was there because they needed the crowd to take a breather.
Yeah.
Between Anarchy in the arena and the main event, because that back-to-backs, people might have died in that arena. People might have died.
I think JBJ tweeted out like, this is the first time he's ever been jealous.
Oh, I had never when Let the Bodies Hit the Floor started in Anarchy, and I know we jumped like 4 matches.
That's fine.
When don't get me wrong, I thought the Bucks come out and they're doing the founding.
If you want an imprecise order of how the matches went at this pay-per-view, go watch Firmly Inc. this morning.
Yeah,
they nailed it.
Yeah. However, let me tell you, when they did the I'm So Excited, and that was fun, and that made me laugh.
I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, that made me laugh, and that was funny, and I was like, oh my God, they're going to do this song the whole time? They're going to do I'm So Excited? I'm like, all right, might as well. You paid for it, But then when Kenny got on the mic and he said, 2000s rock, I was like, oh, what the hell is this going to be? Yeah, I was like, is it going to be what? Who is this going to be? And then it was Bodies. I was like, damn, dude. Once it happened, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. And I was in it. I ripped my shirt off like Hulk Hogan. I was like, that is just what? What are we doing? What are we doing? I know he's a piece of shit, but you know what I'm talking about. So I was like, oh, and I was just, I couldn't believe it.
The arena did that.
And I stomping around your living room.
I have never been more jealous that I wasn't at a show. Then I just felt like the vibe in that people were like bouncing up and down and shit when they all realized what song it was. They were singing oh my God. I was like, that has to be a fucking party in there, man. A fucking party. I would have been running up and down the stairs. Like that. I would have had the time of my life. I have not been that jealous to not be at a show. I said that wrong. Grammatically incorrect there, but you know what I mean.
Words are just words, man.
I couldn't
say them however you want.
I'm still thinking about it.
Kimmy, do you remember Drowning Pool?
Yeah, she was not born yet when they came out.
No, I don't. I knew the song when it came on.
That's good.
And by this point, we were not in the front. We were moved to the 4th row on the floor because
times.
Nick Jackson's family was moving to the front row. I'm not gonna disagree with them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But I got to see Swerve the entire time when he was fighting in the crowd, which was great. And that's, again, not name dropping. He just was in the match.
That's fair. That one will let slide. Drowning Pool is a band that was on the come up big in the early 2000s, and they were what everybody dubbed like that Drowning Pool body song came out, it took over the world, and everybody's like, this is the next
that
big
whole
band.
album is great.
This is the next big band.
How old I was when the song came out.
And then unfortunately the singer had a heart attack or a heart problem, and he died, and the
I
band
wasn't even born when this song came out.
I literally said that.
No.
It was May of 2001. I was born in August of 2001.
That whole album, I think it's called Sinner, is the name of that album.
Yes, it is. Great. I'm looking at it.
That is a great new metal album. And
did you know?
He died
No, continue.
during the Ozfest tour
Yeah.
And the last show that he performed on, or the second to last show he performed on, was on the date in Boston, and he was there because they were headlining the second stage. Or they were either headlining the second stage or they were the opening act of the main stage. But I had seen him live like 2 or 3 days before, and you're right. They were being talked about as like the next big band in that genre. Like they were going to be huge.
Bodies was also the theme song for the 2001 SummerSlam, as well as the ECW brand in 2005 to early 2008, including One Night Stand.
Didn't they perform at SummerSlam?
I think they performed at SummerSlam at one point.
I could have swore they did. Yeah, there was that weird time in WWE's history where they had all those new metal come on, like
Saliva,
and it just never sounded good because it's hard to do that in that scenario. But so Kimmy's like, "What is this song?" Everybody else is having a good old
Me and
time.
Pluggo are of the age where that stuff right there, that was my wheelhouse for a long time. That new metal stuff, like that.
We used to have to go to the store and buy CDs.
Yes,
Kimmy.
I don't know if you know what that's like.
I know what a CD is.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, that's they call it a compact disc. It's a compact disc. That's what that means. CD.
Ella even knows the song, Kimmy.
I'm so proud of her.
You know who didn't know the song? Drew Nicholas didn't know the song.
Drew,
really?
I'm gonna.
My co-host. I was appalled. I was appalled that he did not know that.
Shout out to Drew, who put me on blast saying that my takes are out there on the internet today. I was like, I never had out there takes.
Yeah, that was with Tom, right? He said
no, it was actually really sweet, and I took it as one of the biggest compliments I've ever gotten in the space because I was
appalled. I was appalled.
Yeah,
he was like, he's like, I didn't know that song. I'm like, that's not true. And he's like, I didn't know that song. I go, that can't be true, Drew. That can't be. And he's like, no, I didn't know it. I was like, who are you? Who are you? It's happening.
Ella, so to Ella's comment, she said we need that Gage Goldberg heel turn for real. So Gage Goldberg this week got a matching tattoo of Gage Goldberg, Goldberg's son, got the Goldberg tattoo to match his dad's tattoo to honor his tradition, his legacy, all that kind of stuff. And we had joked years ago when Ella was on the show, like one of the first times she's ever on the show, that Gage was going to turn on his dad and Bill, and it never happened. And then I saw them face to face with the same tattoo, and I immediately was like, Ella, it's got to happen now, right?
That's fair.
So hopefully that happens. Because he's wrestling this summer apparently. So why not?
He might be. Gunther better beat the shit out of him. I need a segment.
But
if they're rolling with that, where Gunther beats the crap out of Gage. Anyway,
who are better founding fathers, the Young Bucks or the actual founding fathers of America?
I mean, obviously the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks.
That was awesome.
Look at where we are. Look at where we are, Pluggo, in the world. Tell me.
That was awesome. The stapler was crazy. Oh, Marina. The way they did, Willow's ear. That whole match was just
it was great. It was so good.
The one thing I will add though is watching Anarchy in the Arena in the crowd is the most impossible thing to do because they don't show everything on the screen, so you just have to look to see what's around you.
Those the split screen four-way was really cool.
They did the quad box on the pay-per-view, which
was
really nice.
Cool.
We had 4 different boxes.
I was rewatching it.
For this was nice.
Podcast.
That was a nice
touch.
I liked it.
Prepare, and I was like, oh, this is really nice of them. They should have showed this in the arena.
Yeah.
Anthony Khan.
Anthony.
Listen, we're just minions now. Did you see?
No.
What? Who's minions? We're minions or you're a minion?
Me and Tony on the scrum. We had a whole conversation. He was like, he said my name, and I didn't know he knew who I was, and I was like, damn, you threw me off. He goes, is it because I didn't call you like Minion 700 whatever? I go, no, I have a triple-digit Minion number, Tony. He goes, oh, so you have a lower Minion number than I do? I go, yeah, does that mean I'm more important than you? He goes, it does, Kimmy.
There you go.
So yeah, Tony and I are co-minions.
I bet.
Yeah, we gotta get the exclusive right to Kimmy appearances locked to that contract early because in 5 years she's gonna be like, Beards who?
Yeah.
Listen, I have a meeting. The meeting I have tomorrow with this person, I will tell them.
Sure
will you tell us?
Sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll mention us in this meeting tomorrow. I'm sure.
I'll be like,
I'm sure
"Listen,
between two beards will come up in that meeting.
I'm
sure.
on this podcast last night,
I'm sure.
and they wanted me to like have an exclusive deal with them.
Be like, hey guys, I need just a little. We got to just do a little bit of change to the contract. I agree that I will not do media except between two beards whenever I want to be on there.
As long as they don't have a guest already booked.
As long as they don't have a guest already booked. That's really what we need.
That's funny.
Ricochet and Mark Briscoe had a good one. They had a fun one. Mark Briscoe was bleeding everywhere.
I can't get that image of him bloody and with it out
In
of
the
my
Anarchy
head.
in the Arena was crazy.
Yeah, it was. Mark Briscoe being in the ambulance and like getting involved. Listen, Gabe Kidd comes out at Anarchy in the Arena, and I think we were all kind of. I think most you could tell by the audience and everybody. We were like, "Come on, Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Now's the time. Now's the time, Eddie Kingston. Come on, do it." But obviously, it was Mark Briscoe, which again still made sense because he's had history with the Death Riders, and it still made sense and stuff like that. And I love Mark Briscoe, but I think everybody was kind of like, if Eddie Kingston came out right now, that would be like the icing on like that. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have been able to have the matches after that. That might have been the end of the show.
Big boo boo.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
But
we still wanted him to show up,
of course, because Gabe Kidd was the guy that did the suplex that injured it, wasn't it? Wasn't it Gabe Kidd?
Yes, it was. It was Gabe Kidd.
Yeah. So I was like, man, come on now. But obviously, it was still Anarchy in the Arena was excellent, and I thought the good guys winning was a nice touch. Yeah, it was the best one they've ever done. Is Anarchy in the Arena the best stipulation in pro wrestling?
I like Stadium Stampede. I think I should do another one of those because that was equally as crazy. I mean, I feel like it's relatively the same thing, but obviously not every arena like has a football field nearby.
Stadium.
The Cardinals football stadium was right across the street from the Diamond Desert Arena, though. So they could have, if they wanted to, could have done Stadium Stampede at the Cardinals Stadium.
Yeah.
Stadium Stampede was dope.
No.
Anarchy in the Arena is a really super fun stipulation. It's definitely, I don't know if it's like the best in terms of like traditional wrestling stipulations, but it is absolutely unique in its own right. Like, I don't think, anybody's done anything like it that I'm aware of. I know.
Yeah.
So I'd go that route and say it's really cool.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I love it.
I love the chaos of it. I'm sorry. It's tough to watch from your ivory tower in the front row there.
I know. Jeez. Hopefully you were all right and not too distraught over that.
But I had a good time with it.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about the match, but Kazuchika Okada retained his title over Speedball Mike Bailey. I thought this was really
I don't like the dark hair. He needs to go back to blonde. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't like it. It doesn't fit him. I'm not used to it.
Are you saying you prefer blondes?
I'm saying in this scenario, I prefer blonde.
Fair enough. Hurt Syndicate defeated the Sons of Texas. I mean, obviously, we thought so. Here's my thing. This is like the fourth pay-per-view in a row where the Hurt Syndicate has beat a tag team that has no business going after the tag team titles. And I need them to face somebody of credibility sooner than later.
They don't have any other.
I was gonna say you gotta start building what used to be a strong point of AEW, the tag division. They need to get it built back up. They got
fair. You're telling me that I understand they were in a different match, but Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong are credible?
No, because they keep losing.
They're more credible than the guys we've seen.
Sure.
We've seen the last 3 months.
I don't think they're more credible than the Sons of Texas because the Sons of Texas are champions.
They're a good tag team, but what have they done for you to go? Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong are going to beat the Hurt Syndicate.
Well, yeah,
that's what I and even with the Sons of Texas thing, like I was sure, but what if we need them? Do something. They're the ROH tag champions. Worry about that over at ROH. But yeah, we just need them to
teams over there either.
And the Young Bucks are doing the EVP things with this Anarchy in the Arena stuff. The Death Riders were involved with that. There's a couple of tag teams right there that were out of the mix. That it's just they got to build up some more tag teams to get that division back to where it used to be. Because that was a strong point of AEW, and it used to be they even said it, like the tag championships are on par with the other championships, and it doesn't feel that way right now.
No, it doesn't.
But we hurt people.
That is true. That is true.
Not you guys, just Max, Montel, Sheldon, and Bobby. I told you.
Oh, sorry.
Just the four of them.
We don't hurt people. No.
No, you guys do not hurt people.
We love people.
Max also, not for the children. He was hissing at the children during his meet and greet. Hissing.
Right.
Threatened me with a box cutter at one point.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Threatened you with a box cutter?
Yeah, I wasn't counting fast enough for him. He walked into the office.
Listen, Maxwell. Jacob Friedman, you do not threaten our friend Kimmy with a box cutter, bro. That's just not cool. That's not cool. Listen, I'm not going to fight you because I'd lose in a heartbeat, but let's be better to Kimmy, okay?
I called him out. I was like,
all right, bud, you're better than that, and we know it.
Well, I called him out. I was like, you wouldn't. He goes, you're right. I'm like, thank you.
Because Kimmy hurt people.
I hurt. I'm involved. I'm included. I hurt people. They hurt people. Yeah. You don't hurt people.
Got it.
Nobody tells me what to do. So, and that is what it is.
Except for Lou.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm at his beck and call. The Don Callis family defeated Paragon, and this was definitely the cool down match. Like we said, they were like, we need the crowd to be alive for the main event. So we need this to kind of fit right in there.
Were we wrong?
Yeah. Listen, I don't think it was a bad match, but it was the quickest match on the show. It was definitely there as a cool down period before we got to this main event, because this main event with Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay was quite good. Just really, really good stuff. I love the sequence. The lighting they had for this main event was cool. Like, they had different lighting for this than they did all the other matches. Which I thought was a nice touch. They went almost 40 minutes. Just really, really good. Uh-oh.
All your people at Ella's here. Auntie Collins is here. Excuse me.
Collins, you could yell at JPJ, because I tried to come on last week, and
why would she yell at me?
Because it was your fault.
No, because you tried to come on last week after we had already had a guest booked. But I said, Kimmy, we got a guest.
Fun fact, Auntie, while you're here, last week when we did the Kicking Out podcast, Mrs. Pluggo was watching it, and she was having a good time with it. She just goes, we need Auntie in this thing. She fell in love with you last Thursday. Mrs. Pluggo's an Auntie Collins fan now. Just so I'm let you know that she's a huge fan.
How can anyone not be, if I'm being honest?
Exactly.
She does say she misses your face, Kimmy. I think she's upset because it's a Thursday.
She's talking about maybe she's talking about my face. She didn't say.
No, maybe that is true.
Maybe your face.
She's talking about me. No, it's me.
Auntie Collins. I am also a Mrs. Pluggo fan.
Yeah. Your what is it?
My tribal cheeks. I acknowledge thee.
There it is. And then did you get the cat? Did you get the cat, Pluggo?
We can't get the cat. She can't get the cat yet because it still has to stay. It's still too little. But once it's a little bigger, that's the plan, I guess.
Okay. Fair enough.
We have to wait, like I said, a couple weeks, but we'll see. I think she is. I don't know. I'll know when there's another cat in my house.
Fair.
Oh, she's not going to give you the 411?
Nope, not really. So the last time we got a cat, I told them they could get it, because they always ask me like I'm some mean guy that just begrudge, because I was just like, if you guys want, but I'm letting you know, you got to take care of it. The whole dad trope of take care of the cat, kids. And then Mrs. Pluggo will go get a cat, and then she will come home with 2 cats instead of just one, because I couldn't split them up. They were too cute. And it's like, God damn it. I thought we were just getting one. So she might come home with 5 cats next week. I don't know.
So you should go with her to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, but have you seen Mrs. Pluggo? I'm not preventing anything from happening. Have you seen me? Have you seen her? We don't say no to Mrs. Pluggo. We just let her do whatever makes her happy. and we just go, okay, honey.
Fair. That's fair enough. I mean,
And then
it's not a bad strategy. It's not a bad strategy
you know.
whatsoever.
And then the cats just the cats know, right? Like the two cats we have now rarely come and hang out with me. Like it's very surprising when they'll come snuggle up with me, but they will follow her around the house and wait for her to lay down and then jump on her and sit there. And then one of the cats does that with our son, and yeah, they know, they're like, this piece of shit didn't even want us.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, we're not fucking being nice to this.
But I'm not mean to them. I don't treat them bad. I just they're like, we know who
wants us here. All right?
We know who saved us from that barn.
Yeah, we know. All right, we know you were like, put them back. And
yeah, you're like, we don't need both of you, just one of you. And
yeah.
So, she can do
going
it.
into this match, Kimmy.
The main event.
The pre-show.
Well, no, I think, did you pick Hangman, Pluggo? Were you the only one, or did we all pick Ospreay? I think we all picked Ospreay on here, but I had made the point, and I still stand by it, that either way they sliced it, it was the right call. I don't think there was a wrong answer.
I don't think there would have been a wrong answer. I might have just said Hangman because you both picked Ospreay to be different, but I don't think I actually don't think I did. I know on the Kicking Out podcast we went
Ospreay.
Yeah, we went Ospreay. And we got trounced.
Did you think Hangman was winning this before he actually did, Kimmy?
I didn't have a preference or a prediction, to be honest. I was just there. I didn't have predictions for any of the matches on the show. I was just
because you didn't get it we didn't let you on last week.
I didn't need to make predictions.
You should have texted me. I would have just gave you the link, and then JPJ would be like, "What the hell, man?"
No, and then he would have yelled, and
no. Well, when don't I yell? When don't I yell?
I was like, fine. I'll go talk to some other people. I guess I'll do something else with my Thursday night since JPJ doesn't want me on here.
Unbelievable. But I thought I'm very happy that Hangman won. I thought it was a spectacular match. I'm very excited to see what they do with him and Moxley. But then we had this opening promo last night on Dynamite, which was excellent. Hangman comes out, he talks about, the last two, he said, and if he's being honest, the last 3 years have been hell. And he's had, he's gone through a lot. He said going into Double or Nothing, he knew that two guys were going in and one of them had to lose, and then he put Will Ospreay over, which I thought was good. And he basically said, thank you for the fight of my life. Thank you for reminding me why I chose to do this. And he said, and thank you for proving to me and dispelling any notion that you are a guy that can't carry this place on his back, which I thought was a nice touch by Hangman. And then he starts talking about the world title. He says he's going to win the world title All In. He says it's the reason why he does this, and it's been hidden in a briefcase for 7 months, and he's going to win it and take it out of that briefcase and hold it high over his head. The crowd's getting pumped. And then the second he finishes that line, Swerve Strickland's music hits. Swerve comes out. No Prince Nana, just Swerve, all business. And he gets right in the ring, and he goes, let me just remind you why I'm here. And he cues up the video of the Young Bucks on the Dynamite After Dynasty, in which they cost Swerve the title. And they said, we did it for Hangman. We did it for Hangman because we know you never
forgot all about that. I was like, oh yeah, they did say that, didn't they? That was a fun little wrinkle.
So he cues that up. And then, he kind of goes into a little bit of a spiel, and he says, I just need to know, is that true? Did that happen because of you? Because in 7 weeks, you have an opportunity to bring that title back home to AEW. And it's an opportunity that I should have had because I had it won, and it should have been me. And then it wasn't.
It should have been me.
It should have been me. Dolph Ziggler.
You give and you give and you give. That's a great.
Should have been me. Anyway, but that's what he says. And then Hangman. So he asks Hangman, and Hangman calls him a dumbass, which I laughed. And then he says, "If you
the way he said dumbass too, it was just like, I gotta say something dumb."
Yeah, he's just like, "Hey, dumbass." And then he
Oh,
goes,
man.
if you recall Dynasty, I had my eyes locked on you, and then I had my eyes locked on Moxley, and I made my choice. He goes, but if I really wanted to finish the job at Dynasty to you, like, I just would have looked you in the eyes and done it. And then Swerve says, yeah, you're still a piece of shit. And it's like, he doesn't believe him. Then Will Ospreay comes out. And once he's in the ring, I don't know about you guys. I looked and I said, right there, I go, that's the company. Those three guys, that is the foundation of the company right there for the next, these guys. And Ospreay's trying to play peacekeeper. He's trying to convince Swerve that Hangman's not who he thinks he is. He said, oh, he fought really well, and he had a chance, and he was walking up the ramp, but he came down. He lifted me up. He shook my hand like you shook my hand a year ago when you beat me. He was telling, he cares about this place. It's better if we work together. And the second he even tries to even pitch that to Swerve fucking swats the microphone out of Ospreay's hand. And he's like, I'm never doing anything with that guy. I'm never working with him. I'm never doing anything. He leaves. And then Ospreay and then Ospreay turns to Hangman, and they're not on mic, so it's really just the camera audio picking it up. And he says, let me talk to him. And Hangman goes, no, not him, not ever. Not him. And that's how this segment ends.
Which I'm okay with that. I never want them to work together, but I think they will it all in. I think it's gonna
push. Swerve helps him
begrudgingly, yeah.
Well, I think the match is gonna be Ospreay and Swerve versus the Bucks.
Yeah,
I think that's what it'll end up being, right? Because they're the people that are kind of obviously left out of this.
I think that is the match, but at the end of the day, I think over the next 7 weeks, we're going to have a scenario where Ospreay kind of was like, hey, the three of us work together, we can get back. I think it's going to be one of those situations where it's like, yeah, we hate each other, but we hate the fact that our title is not being presented. It's still in Jon Moxley's grasp. So, then again, somebody might turn on somebody there, and I don't know. I have this feeling like Swerve might begrudgingly help Hangman pull it off, and then Hangman might get pissed at Swerve about it, and then we get Swerve and Hangman at All Out or something. Maybe. That's my theory. I don't know. I could be wrong. That's the vibe I got, is that they're going to try to tell us this story of Team AEW. Even though we're not doing it together, we're going to do it together.
It's fair.
I don't think the turn happens at All In. I think the turn happens at, what would be next? Forbidden Door. To set up All Out.
The turn happens between who?
Yeah.
Swerve turns on Hangman.
Turns on him? They're already not friends. He can't turn on somebody he doesn't like already.
They're gonna be aligned, right?
They're gonna become friends at all at Forbidden Door. Got it. Okay, because you can't turn on each other because they already hate each other. That would be pretty epic. You know what? I hate you so much. I'm turning heel on you again. That would be cool. Anyway, yeah. Imagine. It was a great show. It was a great pay-per-view. AEW's cooking. Like I said, I will finish Dynamite probably by tomorrow, but I'm sure I saw that. I did see the opening segment, and I really enjoyed it. So like I said, that was my whole rant at the top because it was so good that I'm all in on Hangman winning it now.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it.
Listen to me, Tony Khan. I know you're best friends with Kimmy Sokol now, so you're watching the show. Just do me this solid, dude. Do me this solid. Look at her. She's taking pictures to send to Tony Khan.
No. I got an email, and I'm really confused by this email.
Here we go.
Words are hard.
Here we go.
Here, I got it right here. Words are hard.
All right. Let's
hold on. Now I gotta
make our way.
I'm gonna let you all talk. I'm gonna mute myself for 5 seconds to divulge in what this
Saturday night's main event, maybe, or do you want to talk Battleground?
Oh, I want to talk both. But let's go
which one first?
Saturday night's main event. Let's go chronological.
Well, we didn't do that when we talked AEW first.
What do you mean?
AEW was on Sunday. Saturday's main event was on Saturday. You said
but AEW, look at Double or Nothing was the big show.
You can't just flip flop, JPJ. Make it make sense, dude.
Come on.
The internet.
Well, we're going to have to make those decisions more often now because WWE are being a bunch of petty jerks.
Oh, can we talk about that real quick?
Because now there's rumors that the shit's going to happen later on again now, too.
Listen, I want to say, I love that there's more wrestling in the world, that there's more things to watch, there's more opportunities. I hated having to bounce between Battleground and Double or Nothing because it takes you kind of out of it. Now, granted, Battleground ended earlier, so the meat and the potatoes of Double or Nothing was untouched, but it still was like, I just want to focus on one show or stagger it a little bit. Like, why couldn't Battleground, every other PLE started at 6 or 7. Why not start a little earlier? I know why they're doing it. Doesn't mean I love it, but it is funny that we don't pay attention to that company.
Did you see the code was all WWE?
Yeah, I did.
So either way, but yeah, Saturday night's main event.
Listen,
it was something.
There were at least a couple big angles that occurred.
Yeah, Cody's back. Bronson Reed.
Yeah. So the show, that tag match that opened, it was really good with Punk and Sammy versus Braun and Seth. That was a really good match. It had the big Bronson Reed moment where he appears and takes out CM Punk, helps Seth win, has a really cool stare down with Braun Breaker, and then Seth kind of, gives him a hug, and he's the newest member of this group that they have assembled here. It makes sense. Because obviously Bronson Reed almost murdered Seth when he kind of got elevated there last year. Bronson Reed did not come to mind when I was thinking about who the third guy could be in this group, but I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't think it's going to be for long. I think it's going to be like a facade of Bronson's going to try to get on the inside to then continue his destruction against Seth. Because remember, he had a pretty lengthy feud with Seth before this all happened. And I don't think WWE's that dumb to be like, yeah, you're supposed to forget about this.
But if you can't beat him, join him.
That is true, too.
I heard that from a certain Sethery.
There we go.
Here's the thing. With Bronson Reed, he had a really fun run with Seth before he got injured. When he joined up with the Bloodline, he fit in so well, and he looked like he was having a good time. Do I think Bronson Reed could be a megastar on his own? Sure. But getting the opportunity to work with Seth and Heyman on a day-to-day basis is only going to elevate him and make him better. Whether he's in there for a long time, good time, short time, whatever it may be, I think it was a good fit. It took me out. I was surprised. I was sitting there eating dinner, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
I didn't know he was cleared. So good on him. That was an interesting swerve there. I liked it.
Yeah, and then after the match, he gets the tsunami on CM Punk and kind of, does that dance. We then had Chelsea Green versus Selena Vega for the United States Championship. Quicker match. Selena Vega gets the victory.
I don't think it was supposed to be that quick. I think the injury
to Chelsea, right?
The finish. Yeah.
All right.
So,
and I'm going to say real quick, just PSA. Hey, everybody, that stuff happens.
Yeah, of course. There were a lot of people that got banged up this week.
The discourse poor Selena Vega got on the internet this weekend about how she's just trash and she's a bad wrestler. Seth Rollins busted up John Cena's nose, and we don't talk about him like he's some piece of shit back in the day. Like, these things happen. I don't think she meant it by any ill will. Relax.
Yeah.
But it was all right. Yeah, it was definitely shorter because I think they were like, oh shit, her nose is busted up. We probably got to go quick.
Yeah.
So of course they just let Jesse the Body Ventura talk nonsense forever. To make up some.
I'm going to tell you. I have glowing things to say about Jesse the Body Ventura.
Are you being sarcastic right now?
I'm not.
Okay.
When he was commentating during this cage match, I loved every second of it. I was sitting there going, I love this.
Yes. Parishes in the house saying protect Chelsea at all costs. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Well, of course. We then had John Cena going up against Ron Cena.
Oh, that was awesome.
Fun times. Again, this was what it was. It was fun. R-Truth coming out as Ron Cena, doing a better, performing how John Cena used to perform against this current iteration of John Cena. But in the end of the day, we knew what was going to happen. And John Cena gets a victory, hits the attitude adjustment, retains the title. After the match, he hits Truth in the face with the title belt, and he leaves like we've been seeing him do.
Hey, listen, to everybody that says John Cena only has 5 moves, he now has 6, the dick kick.
Yep, the dick kick.
He loves the low blow, man.
Yep.
He loves
and
it.
then hitting people over the head with the belt. That's
so 7. He's got 7 moves now.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, he says he's ruining wrestling. I've been wrong this whole time. He's actually improved in year 25. He's come up with 2 new moves. Good for you, John. You had to do it to pour our Truth, who everybody loves. So you're still a bum, but at least you have 7 moves now.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued by this tag team match of Money in the Bank.
I do want to talk. I do want to talk about that.
That's interesting.
Cena and Jey Uso had a little bit of a rundown in the back as Jey was kind of walking, where Cena was like, good to see you. It's been a while. And Jay's like, yeah, last time I saw you, I eliminated your ass from the Royal Rumble to win it. And John's like, glad you remembered. He goes, I'm glad I'm here to see you, actually, because I'm going to enjoy watching you lose your title, especially with your family's history, watching you lose your title to Logan Paul later.
A YouTuber.
Yeah. And then he goes, yeah, a YouTuber. So that'll be fun. We then had this cage match. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Good match. They had a good match. Now that we know that Drew has taken some time off, it makes sense. But I did not expect Damian Priest to win this.
Not the way he did either.
Yeah.
Not the way he did. That was epic.
Because this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was the 3rd match, right?
Yeah.
It's the second one-on-one because they had the 4-way, right? They were part of the 4-way with Jacob and LA Knight.
Yeah.
So I think was this the 3rd or the second one-on-one?
Well, Damian Priest did cash into him at Mania last year. So
that did happen. Technically, that counts.
Because I thought this was the 3rd, and of course the baby
you might be right.
wins the feud, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I think they did that. Just I don't really know the extent of how bad Drew was hurt, but I think they did it to protect him. He is off WWE TV for however long he is going to be. We don't know how long it is, but from that standpoint, it made sense. Storyline, Jesse Ventura, let us know how you really feel. Who hurt you?
What a coward walking out of the cage.
Yeah.
Who said he could walk out of the cage?
I loved it. I loved it. I was sitting there going, man, this makes me miss like legitimately heel announcers who just shit on the babyface no matter what. I miss those type of announcers. I was loving every second of it.
You could tell real salty about it.
You could tell Michael Cole was just like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Read the rules.
But it was just so good. Man, I love
Michael Cole is a saint. He has to deal with Jesse Ventura, and then he had to deal with like early Pat McAfee, where he had to kind of rein him in a little bit.
I mean, he still has to deal with Pat McAfee now.
Yeah, but at least now he's kind of figured out McAfee where they work super well together. But early on, he'd be like, Pat.
Yeah, calm down.
Calm down,
Pat.
Calm down.
Rein it in, brother.
Now they've figured each other out, and it works well, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then we had the main event, and it was main event Jey Uso defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul.
Full letters, one word. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Match started fast. Match started hot. John Cena makes his presence felt in this match. He pulls the referee as Jay's about to beat Logan Paul. He pulls the referee out, and then they start beating down Jay, and that leads to Cody Rhodes making his triumphant return.
Our QB back.
He's back. First time we've seen him since WrestleMania. He makes his return. He hits a crossroads on John Cena. And then Logan Paul slides in the ring. He tries to hit Cody with the brass knuckles. Cody ducks. Jay hits a spear. He goes up top. He hits his second splash of the match on Logan Paul. And miraculously, the referee wakes back up at the perfect time and slides in the ring and counts the 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso retains. And then post-match, Cody grabs the mic and he says, John, you've ruined enough. He says, I'm back. I'm ready to fight. Looks like I got myself a tag team partner. Looks like you got yourself a tag team partner. We'll see you at Money in the Bank. And then he threw the mic down. And everyone was going. When Cody came out, that arena went ape shit for Cody. Holy moly, the pop. But, so now at Money in the Bank, We have neither world title being defended. Bless. Because they're both going to be in a tag team match against each other. Then it's going to be Cody and Jey Uso against the unlikely pairing of John Cena and Logan Paul. Now, there is rumor, I don't know if it's been confirmed, there is rumor that this might have been planned originally for it to be John Cena and Travis Scott.
I heard wasn't it supposed to be a 6-person?
That I don't know. But I heard that Travis Scott was training and he was potentially supposed to be involved in this match. And for some reason, it's not happening that way. I do think in the current iteration of the stories, I do think Logan Paul makes sense as a partner for John Cena.
Maybe Cody Rhodes didn't want another busted eardrum.
Maybe.
Like maybe Travis wasn't ready, you know?
Maybe.
Listen, I'm super excited personally to have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso back as a tag team because I was there when they won the tag team champions.
You were more than there.
I'm the one that got Cody to yeet for the first time.
You started.
I still don't get credit for it because they take down my videos every time. But so that's cool. Listen. I'm glad he's back. Shout out to Cody. That'll be fun. That'll be an interesting match. I wonder if like when John Cena was planning out his retirement tour, and then like Logan Paul might not have been on the list of people to team with until they decided to turn him heel. And he's like, all right, I guess
definitely
this is the
was
best way to go.
not.
Yeah, this couldn't have been. But I'm here for it. It is what it is. Shout out to Cody's podcast dropped yesterday. That was fun. I love Brandy Rhodes, man. Him and Brandy together. That was so much fun. She should be on all of his podcasts. He doesn't need to have any other guests but our queen.
Listen, Pluggo, who the hell told you it was open mic night, bitch?
Night, bitch.
Who?
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, you're right, Pierce. Leave my videos. Just that one. Like, I could understand if I was stealing a bunch of stuff from WWE and they're like, copyright strikes. But I'm like, it was me. I was there. I asked the question.
You asked the question that got Cody to yeet.
Yeah, I got Cody
and
to
Cody
yeet.
yeeting is really what made the yeet. Like the yeet exploded after Cody yeeted.
And I post it, and they're like, I'm like, it was me. I should have had. That was my first ever scrum, so I wasn't quite prepared. I should have, like I do now when we go. I definitely record my own videos and things and have my own recordings. But that was my first one, and I wasn't prepared. Now I know.
Should be getting your royalties.
I was gonna say, do you know how much money they've made off of yeet?
Yeah.
The fact that you've received 0 cents.
That's all right.
Unbelievable, really.
That's all right. Listen, I do it for the love of the game.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
pause, bro.
Yeah, I guess I have.
Drew answered me back.
Drew McIntyre?
No, I asked Drew Nichols how he didn't know bodies.
Yeah.
He said, I know it. Kind of. Some vibe metal from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Some what?
Did you say vibe metal?
Vibe. B-Y. I'm reading it word for word, what he said.
Yeah. New metal. Maybe
some
new
metal from the late 90s, early 2000s didn't make it into my Backstreet Boys loving playlist.
That is okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
Listen, it's still not fair. Everybody, you know who bought that. You knew that song. Don't act like you did. All right. Anyway. So that was Saturday night.
Metal. Sorry, I guess he's watching this.
That's what I thought. That's what new metal. That's what I thought.
I'm actually glad. I'm actually glad we got BattleGround last because of all the stuff that happened Tuesday as well.
Yeah, NXT.
What a week!
Holy shit, man! All right. So then we had NXT BattleGround, which happened at the exact same time as Double or Nothing. Thanks, Paul.
Damn you, Sean.
Thanks. So glad.
Nick Khan going up against Tony
So
Khan.
glad I can't have my full attention on a fucking wrestling show because we have to be petty and doing a disservice to your NXT roster.
I would love. There's got to be somebody out there that's way smarter than I am that knows this stuff like the back of their hand. I'd love to see if it actually made any. Because I also think like NXT is still one of those things where not everybody watches NXT that watches WWE. Did it really make a dent in the Double or Nothing buy rates? I don't know.
I just think the NXT roster balls out, and they to me they deserve the spotlight. And when you're putting them, because it's them, it's every time it's them. You're putting them against AEW. you're taking eyeballs away from them. And I
Yeah,
think that
them.
does them a disservice. I think that does them a disservice.
No.
That's all. That's all.
Oh, Dan being controversial, saying
and honestly, as a fan of wrestling who watches both, I enjoy both. It does me a disservice because I like to focus. I don't want to have to be paying attention to two different things. Like, I want to watch shows live. I don't want to have to watch one after or have to. You can either watch them live, but you got to watch two at the same time, or I want my full focus on one show.
No.
And the thing that bothers me is that it's just unnecessary. It doesn't need to be happening. It doesn't need to be happening.
No, what's happening this weekend that you couldn't have done BattleGround?
Yeah.
Well, I guess by that same vein, Double or Nothing could have gone this weekend too.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But Double or Nothing, All in Texas was announced a fucking year ago, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
And now all of a sudden, we're having a Saturday night's main event. And Evolution, I am thrilled that Evolution is back. I am thrilled. And I'm glad that it's on the Sunday and it's really the only thing on that day. It's not. It's right next door to a Beyonce concert. Oh, well, I'm talking wrestling wise. I get that. That is a whole nother thing. But I'm talking wrestling wise. It's getting its own day. I'm happy it's getting its own day. Okay. But Evolution is going to be at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Why can't Great American Bash be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday?
Because they're probably going to use a lot of the women on NXT on that
that's
pay-per-view, and a lot of them aren't going to want to do double duty.
That's lame, is what it is.
I'm sorry.
It's lame. There is no need for it. There is no need for it, other than just to be petty. And it's
I wish they would have moved Evolution off that weekend. To be honest,
it's
like Tom Petty.
Yeah,
Heartbreakers.
Yeah, and then there was another one that came out earlier today. Philly, a week. So AEW is doing this residency in Philly, which is going to be a good time. And now WWE is coming out, and they're doing a massive weekend at that arena the week before.
They're just doing NXT. They're not doing massive weekend. It's just an NXT taping that is supposedly going to have a lot of things going on.
Yeah. And again, I look at that and I just go, listen, all right? To me, it is not a good look when the guy that's on top punches down. The people below want to punch up, cool. You look petty. You look petty to me. I just don't think it's a good look. That's all. And as a wrestling fan, it annoys me.
It might not be Triple H making this call.
I don't think it is. I think it's TKO. Yeah, I think it's TKO. I think it's TKO. I think it's Nick Khan, a lot of it. But I think it's, yeah. Listen, ever since they made that merger, it is very clear that TKO, what they want the most, like the thing that is the biggest focus, is making money.
It's money.
Yeah,
it's making money.
They spent billions of dollars on this, and they got to make it back somewhere.
Bruh. Yeah, but you look
to go to Vegas 2 years in a row.
That's a whole nother thing. We touched on it briefly last week with Auntie Collins, but that's another whole thing. As they're doing WrestleMania back-to-back venues for WrestleMania, barely has happened once ever.
WrestleMania 4 and 5 in AC.
Correct. Now, like, it's just the things they're doing it's clearly all money based. They want to have the biggest gates. They want to have all this stuff, all the things that we hear all the time that I don't give one single shit about at all. Oh, we had the largest gate. Okay, great. You're charging the most you've ever charged before, ever. Bless. Congrats.
And soon people are going to stop paying that number.
Yeah, when you go there for WrestleMania and the best you can do is Travis Scott.
Feed.
I didn't even go to Mania. I don't know if anyone knew. I did not even go to WrestleMania. I was at a very undisclosed location in Las Vegas.
It was Mrs. Pluggo's birthday. I wasn't going anyway, but it was Mrs. Pluggo's birthday.
You know? Anyway, NXT BattleGround. This was a really good. This was a really, really good show too. Yeah.
Show.
The opening match: Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka. for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Really good opening match. I thought it was much better than I thought their first match was good at Heatwave. I thought this match was even better. I just thought it was good. There were a couple of the spots, they are very athletic ladies. A couple of the spots to me still seem like it was too rehearsed, a smidge. But all in all, I thought this match was very good. I thought it was a great opener. I thought, like we mentioned, to counterbalance the ladies opening, again, two completely different type of styles, two completely different type of matches. But I thought both shows on Sunday opening with great women's matches ruled. And I thought this was a great match.
Can we talk about the Soul Snatcher off the ropes to win it? It's like, that's what you're talking about rehearsed. Like, I watch it. It's cool as shit to look at. That is so hard to pull off. Like, you have to plan that out perfectly.
And my thing is, that match in general, that move in general, it's a spectacular looking move. I get it. It is not a feasible finishing move. It's not a feasible. Kalani Jordan was basically standing there. And then once Soul jumped and did her thing, Kalani Jordan just like a dolphin, like she was pretending to be a dolphin jumping into a pool. Yeah, literally. Like that's exactly what she did to get caught. Like it's just like it's a spectacular looking move.
I just think she needs one more. She needs one more move.
It's just that is not.
Like, AJ Styles has a phenomenal form, and then he does a Styles Clash. Like, she needs something. She can do the Soul Snatcher in the situation where it provides it, and then come up with another thing to finish it off, I think.
Yeah.
But it is a badass move.
100%. It's incredible. And again, I kind of liked Kalani Jordan here. She had a new look. She's been teasing kind of like going to the dark side a little bit, like having a little bit of heelish to her character.
Kind of like the Undertaker.
Represent, Kimmy. But you have the Undertaker on it. Did you forget what beanie you were wearing, bro?
No, I remembered. I didn't know where you were going with this. I thought you were going a whole different direction.
We only go one direction here.
Yeah. But yeah, so Sol Ruka won. Soon enough, Zarya is just gonna knock her fucking head off. And that's what we're gonna get there. It's gonna be a good time. But yeah. I thought it was a good opening.
I don't know. There's room at the top now for Zarya to just go, I ain't worried about that no more.
Oh, listen. We saw Ava Raine backstage. After that, Mike Santana. Hell yeah. Mike Santana's interviewed backstage. He says, it's taken me 16 years to walk through the doors here in WWE. He's very excited. And he's coming for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So he's coming to watch the match tonight. And then No Quarter Catch Crew interrupts him. Not with Miles Bourne as he was getting ready for his match a little later. Charlie Dempsey says, he goes, it's bad enough Joe Henry's here to steal some spotlight. We don't need another TNA guy sticking his nose in our business. And then him and Santana kind of bicker back and forth. And then Tavian Heights steps in and he says, how about we fight on Tuesday? And Santana accepts. So Santana's going to fight on NXT, which is very cool. And obviously, we'll talk about that.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
And he got a lot of high praises from that.
As he should. Good for Mike Santana. Good for Mike Santana. He was really good on Tuesday night as well. Yeah, I thought that match was really good. And I thought when he cut that promo later on in the night with Trick, I thought it was real good. You want to tell me that on the next, NXT PLE, Great American Bash, that it's going to be Santana and Trick? I think, if you were going to have Santana, I think Santana's a good pick to be the guy who, Fernando just said, I think Santana's a great pick to be the guy who takes the belt off a Trick. I feel like that's probably
I think you got to do it at Slammiversary.
I was going to say you have to do it at a TNA. Yeah, you have to do it at a TNA show, right?
Well, not just any, to me, because Santana's from the NY.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where Slammiversary is. It's in our neck of the woods here in NYC. So I think it's the perfect homecoming. And I think Trick comes up to the main roster right after that.
Yeah. I feel like, and when is Slammiversary here?
July 19th.
Yeah. So I feel like that's probably what you do, because I think Santana should probably be the guy that takes it off him. But yeah, no, I thought that match was fun. I was good. And on Tuesday, I thought.
But isn't Santana fighting Trick next week?
Yeah, but
I think
I
they
don't think
announced
there's not gonna be a decisive winner on
Oh,
Tuesday,
sure.
is
But he
what I
could.
think.
But he could do it, okay? He could do it next
Could.
week.
He could.
But according to
Right.
you, you're not supposed to follow your dreams. So going with your
I
logic,
didn't
he's
say
not
not
supposed
follow
to,
your
you're
dreams.
saying-
I said don't leave in the middle of a juicy storyline where you're the guy. Jesus Christ, Kimmy. Don't.
But his dream
Kimmy, I
was
like you.
climb Mount
I
Everest.
like you, Kimmy. He was supposed to do it last year, and then he
Pluggo.
broke his foot.
That's not his fault that he broke his foot.
I mean, no, it's his foot's fault that it broke. His foot should have been
Yeah.
stronger. Listen, Kimmy, there's somebody that just popped in here.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Who sent him the link?
He has.
Well, he has access.
I was
That is
gonna
correct.
say he can do
Yeah.
whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's the man, the myth, the legend, Drew Nicholas.
Oh, because I DM'd him. Hi.
We're talking NXT.
I was going to say we're talking the
one.
one show he doesn't watch. So
I was respectful to not put myself on screen and allow my firmly co-host or Pluggo to do it. So that
I
this
did
way
it. I did it.
I
'cause
was. Thank you, Pluggo.
he
I
looks
know I liked you
perturbed.
for a reason.
what?
So I hear I'm coming home from work and I see a DM from Not Kimmy Sokol that I'm getting shit on
That's an
because I
exaggeration.
didn't know bodies.
That was an exaggeration. I wouldn't say
It was an
shit on. I just
exaggeration.
said that I was appalled that you didn't know what it was.
I was
When I
shocked you
said-
didn't.
And Pluggo was also shocked that you didn't know the song.
I just figured
Well,
that
only one person on the stream has a Boston Anger song. So
Boop, boop, doop. We could still play
I-
that, right?
I feel like I have to defend myself now because I said on firmly this morning, I didn't hate it. I just said, okay, it doesn't have any meaning for me. Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry that that's the worst thing apparently that somebody can say is that you're not a bodies guy.
You gotta watch these
Okay.
AEW marks, Drew.
I'm sorry that I don't watch every second of New Japan.
We should-
Okay.
Drew,
I'm
Drew
sorry.
and I
I
should-
don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know every single moment of any past wrestling history thing that's ever happened.
Drew
because
and
just
I
came
should
into this
do
in
a
2012.
show. Drew and I should do a show where we just talk about the things that we didn't think would piss JPJ off that do.
This man
Ooh.
spent like almost 7 or 8 minutes on this morning.
Because I was
Because-
appalled that you did not know what this song was.
How dare I not know bodies? How
Incredible.
dare I not know?
Incredible. It still is incredible to me.
It's okay. Do you know every Backstreet Boys song?
Yes.
I doubt it.
If you
I doubt it.
every Backstreet Boys song that was on the radio in a top 200 Billboard hit and had a music video on MTV, yes, because that's what Bodies was.
It
I
never
wasn't
graced my
born.
presence for some reason.
Bodies was the main
Kimmy,
song
welcome
to
to Firmly
early
After Dark.
SummerSlam. Kimmy said it. SummerSlam 2001, ECW when it was the crappy WWE version. It was the theme song for 3 years.
Okay,
Maybe
so
he wasn't watching that.
Listen again. Here's my thing.
August,
Drew, I got
August
you.
2001, I wasn't even watching wrestling anymore.
It's not even that.
I don't even know what the
Not
hell
even
I
that.
was doing August 2001.
It's listen. I don't
You're
listen.
waiting for me to enter the world because that's when
I
I was
don't-
born.
I don't listen to every type of music, but music that is popular, that is everywhere, I know what it is. I wasn't upset that you didn't like the song or know every word to the song. You said you didn't know what the song was. That is insane to me. That's all. I'm not saying it's negative. I'm not saying it's that is insane to me. Because that was like a song in pulp. That was more than just a pop. That was like a pulp culture.
Pulp culture? So it's like
Pulp
an orange
culture.
juice?
Yeah, pulp.
Just in the
That was
orange
like a
juice
pop
community?
culture. That was it was just different. That's not. You know.
Wow. I
There you go.
see,
Dan Brown. Dan Brown is saying, "I know what bodies
young,
is." and his-
almost fully realized gay Drew is getting bullied right now.
That is not true.
Unbelievable.
Not
On
right. Hey,
your side.
hold on. Damn it.
See?
You do these.
Yeah, and again, you guys
Hold
did
on,
this, not
hold
me.
on.
I just said that I was shocked and appalled that he didn't know the song. That's all.
Yeah, and I DM'd him because I wanted an explanation. I
Because
felt that I
Kimmy,
didn't
who
know.
is younger than you,
All right,
knows
we
the
have
song.
since Drew made that claim and his feelings are valid. We have to put this on the screen.
The views expressed by JJ are his and not those.
First of all, I'm fine.
Well, Drew just said you're bullying him, so we're making sure that we're
Yeah.
covered in saying that it's
Was
those
that-
are you-
Shep, was that the one? Because I was going to say, I saw him on Ozfest in Boston, and it was like days before he passed away, the singer. So
Let's rise
anyway.
above bullying. That's right. Be a star. The Be a Star.
yeah, be a
campaign.
star. Be a star.
Be a
campaign.
Don't be a
Let's
bully.
rise
be
above.
a
I'm not
star.
bullying anybody.
That's debatable.
I'm not. Again, I
Young
haven't.
Drew from August 2001 feels very bullied right now.
I am not bullying anybody. I am just saying that I just am very shocked and appalled that you did not know that song. That's all.
Appalled.
Kimmy wasn't even born yet, and she knows the song.
You could be. I mean, you can be shocked.
Yeah.
But
I haven't. I mean,
appalled.
It's a popular song, Drew.
It's not that popular to me
I mean, it's
because I
pretty damn
rarely
popular.
ever hear it.
If I put that song on, my 66-year-old mother would know it, Drew. My 66-year-old mother would know it.
oh wait, put your
That tells you how popular that song was at the time. You know what I'm saying?
in the chat. Let us know, is JPJ bullying a young Drew Nicholas right now? Because
You know
Maria
what
said
I'm
you
saying?
August
are.
2001.
Crazy. You tried to pull a fast one on me going, do you know every Backstreet? Yeah, I do. Because I had a younger sister and she annoyed the hell out of me with that shit all the time.
Damn.
Listen, Dan. I'm happy for everybody that got to experience that
Exactly.
moment.
And this is part, this is part of it. An entire arena went nuts the second they heard the first line of it. And you're like, I don't know what that song was. What?
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm sorry that Bodies wasn't on my playlist with I Want It That Way, Toxic.
No,
you know.
First of all, I don't care that it wasn't on your. I don't care that you don't like it, Drew. You said you didn't know what it was.
But
I
he's
didn't.
giving you the explanation as to why he did.
There is
telling
no
you why.
explanation. There is no explanation.
I haven't seen like all the Star Wars movies, and that's pop culture.
And how much did we shame you?
Yeah, so it's okay. I understand, Drew. I get not knowing things that you don't know because you stay in your lane in your comfort
Again.
zone.
That's all.
I'm with you.
Some
I'm with
new
first of
metal,
all,
I know.
I'm with
We
you.
discussed
You
that
want
this
to
morning.
you want to sit here and play victim and act like I'm treating you bad when I'm just saying I'm shocked you didn't know.
Wow.
Well, so you're accusing me of things that I'm not doing. I'll go
Wow.
right back at you. I'm not scared of anybody.
Well, Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. just opened up.
No,
Anybody has
they
no
didn't.
idea.
No, they
Reach
didn't.
out to Spencer Love.
No, they didn't. No, they
Bet
didn't.
you're watching this.
Yeah, like Dan right here.
Yeah, we have a clan
Yeah,
that last
I
night
feel-
wrestling
I-
show today.
I feel like this is the reverse plot of a movie yesterday. Everyone on Earth forgot who the Beatles were. Drew is the only person on Earth who doesn't remember Bodies.
I had heard the
Look,
song.
it's funny.
But it was not. I had maybe not heard that song for a good 10 plus years. It's just not something that's ever replaying in my head. It's not a song that I think of. It's not a song. I don't even know the lyrics of the song. Are there lyrics to the song?
Come on.
Except
You're
not
not
people
helping-
bodies
you're
to
not
the floor.
helping-
Is there
Drew,
anything else?
Drew,
What's
you're
the
not
body?
helping
No, there-
yourself.
There
You're not
is,
helping
hold up.
yourself. You didn't hear all the lyrics that everybody in the arena was yelling and singing?
Well,
One,
it's- I mean,
nothing wrong with
I have a
me.
hearing
Two.
problem, so
Okay.
it's not
Okay,
like
well,
I can
okay,
hear
don't
everything.
do
that's
that.
being said.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, you know,
I know that's
do.
true,
I
but don't.
discussed that with
Yes,
you.
but don't do. No.
So it's most of the lyrics are let the bodies hit the
Yeah,
floor.
that's a very
and then
easy
1
song.
nothing wrong with me, 2 nothing wrong with me, 3 nothing wrong with me, 4 nothing wrong with me, 1 something's gotta give, 2 something's gotta give, 3 something's gotta give.
Very, very lyrically.
Yeah, it's very easy to sing along to, Drew.
Very-
That's why it was
very
so
in
popular.
depth.
I'm
Very-
glad that I heard it and saw the crowd reaction before hearing the lyrics just read out, because I would have said that's a shit song if I just heard those lyrics like that.
Oh.
But because
How about this?
What?
It's true.
Probably true. Probably true.
Listen,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Drew, I'm on your side with this one, buddy.
Thank you, Pluggo. Thank
You're
you. I'm gonna assume that not Kimmy Sokol is also on my side.
Yes, I'm also meaning I wasn't born when the song came out.
I don't know. Kimmy did waver a little bit there when she's like, "The lyrics are these, Drew."
I mean,
I
Kimmy.
just looked them up.
Kimmy
them.
also ratted to Drew about it. So.
Oh
you know.
yeah, that's fair.
All I did, I wanted an explanation because I didn't watch his show in the morning. I wanted to know more about why he didn't know the song.
Yeah.
Sorry
that's
for
all.
wanting to be informed.
And now I am informed on bodies, and I'm not a bodies guy.
I'm a mind
body?
guy.
I see that
He's
you're
the mind.
concerned
He's the
about
mind
bodies
guy. He's not a bodies guy. It's all about the mind. Drew's got a
Body,
connect.
Bodies is a song. I mean, Bodies and another song, different story. But you know, it's just not my thing. I'm sorry. Now we were talking about NXT when
Just
when
also
I joined.
Yeah,
now I am a bodies guy when it comes to Osiris Griffin, but
Dark State wasn't even on this pay-per-view, Drew.
That's unfortunate because he should be on every damn NXT show possible.
I was gonna say, I was like, when did he make it?
Wasn't even on this damn show, Drew.
Very sad. Dark State. I'm a Dark State guy, simply because of Osiris Griffin. Only because of Osiris Griffin.
Got it.
Man's hot. What can I say? But
way to objectify the talent, Drew.
Unbelievable. Me and Pluggo did that about certain talent. We
he
would
puts
be kicked
those
off the
traps
air
on
forever.
Twitter, and
Well,
I thank him for it very much.
To be fair, the first year of the show, I was very Team Hook.
It's true. It's true. He did like Hook.
I do like
He did
Hook.
like Hook.
Handsome man, that Hook.
Sure was. Sure was.
But
Well,
yes,
I'm not going to taint this program as a non-bodies guy anymore because I just had to come here and defend myself, and now you're talking about
As you
NXT,
should.
So,
I'm very happy you came on here and defended yourself, Drew.
Yeah.
thank you.
From what I still don't know.
he's
you.
Jesse Ventura
Defending
is the
myself from
body
you.
guy. People don't.
Bully.
Jason Joe, you are the man.
Jesse Ventura is a body guy. People forget. People forget. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Jesse Ventura is a body guy. People
Now, unless
forget.
you want me to stay, I'm going to leave.
We're talking about NXT,
you should
Drew,
you
so.
should do what Dan said though. You should absolutely listen to the whole Drowning Pool Sinners album and then give JPJ your review of it on Firmly.
That
Or
whole
you could-
album.
Or you could do it on here. That's fine. If you want to come on Beards and do it, because I'd like to hear it too.
What's the name of that album?
Sinner.
Sinners.
No, just Sinner.
But I want your honest
S.
opinion. Don't try to fluff it up and be like, oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was really good, so JPJ doesn't yell. I want you.
That whole album is tremendous. It's a really, really good album. And he died right after that album. They had one album with that guy. And then they got a new singer and they hung around for a bunch. Maria, that is factually incorrect. That is factually incorrect.
It's better than Backstreet Boys.
Not even close.
Oh, sorry, Maria. I'm not.
Not even close. Not even close.
No.
Not even close.
This is
cool that
Pluggo's ears
that
are gonna
NSYNC
be
had the
burned.
gay guy, but no.
Listen, I'm a hetero guy that likes new metal, and I'm telling you right now, that's not even close, dude. That's not even a debate. Everybody thinks that NSYNC was better than the Backstreet Boys because NSYNC had Justin Timberlake. That's the only reason they think that. Okay? The Backstreet Boys, song quality, song structure, song catchiness, song lyrics, all
longevity.
Better.
They're still putting out.
Longevity, no debate. And I hated both of them because I was into the new metal, and my annoying sister would blare that shit all the time, and I would say, "Turn it off, or I'm punching you in the face."
And that's why.
And that's how.
That's how her eye popped out.
No. But that's how it was, and that's why I know every Backstreet Boy song that ever existed, Drew. And there it is.
Oh, that's a take.
I would agree. I would agree.
I would-
I'm going to be. NSYNC is one of the worst. They're one of the worst when you're really looking at. They have
speaking of NSYNC, it's gonna be May is tomorrow.
Yep.
LPW 37 live 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain Time on IWTV. The lovely Stephen Crow is going to be there. Deanna Purrazzo is going to be there. Tarek from Accounting is going to be there. You'll want to check that out.
And I don't know if you heard him, but he said Deanna Purrazzo is
Yes.
going to be there.
Yes.
I don't know if you
gonna
heard
be
it.
Wrestling
I don't know if
TFA,
you heard
my girl, our girl.
Yeah, TFA and her. That match is going to that
So
match is gonna
anyway.
rule. But all right. We got to finish talking about NXT, damn it. Since we spent 10 minutes talking about something that we talked about 15 minutes this morning.
And then you dedicated Beard's time to it as well.
No, you're the one that just came here. What, am I not supposed to be a good guest and say, get out of here?
All right.
What do you
I'll
think?
leave.
What kind of person am I?
Are you guys
Apparently a bully.
are you guys okay? What, Kimmy, why are mom and dad fighting?
We're fine.
I don't know.
I'm not looking at this
Is it your
negatively at
fault
all.
this time or my turn?
I was just
Probably
objectively.
mine.
I was just hurt by the word appalled.
Sorry. I didn't say you're an appalling individual. I said I was appalled that you had no idea what the song was. Just like I was appalled when Pluggo told me he never saw Star Wars or Harry Potter. Appalled.
Still holding strong on that, by the way.
Shep.
Oh no!
Right
Did
here.
you lose?
He
Yeah,
did lose.
Didn't you lose?
Yeah, he lost. We lost.
Why do you still have it?
Because I have to ship it to him, but he made me wait a week, so I'm making him wait a week. So,
2 Christmases! Yay!
that's where we're at. That's where it's at. I told him right open. I'm like, I'm making you wait a week. So I'll be sending it out. I'll be sending it out next
Hey,
week.
Drew, how do you feel about Eric Matthews? Just kidding.
Anyway, Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace had a great match.
Yeah, they sure did.
It was really good.
Well, knowing what we know now, it makes total sense. But
Yeah,
it didn't
sure
make
does.
sense at the time.
Nope.
It still kind of doesn't make tons of sense, but either way.
Well,
Yeah,
so-
it was cool. It was cool.
it was a great match. Vaquer won, as we kind of expected it to happen. I skipped Stacks. What do you think about Stacks and Tony D?
I didn't watch the pay-per-view, so I'm just gonna let y'all.
I'm so glad.
I thought it was fine. I think it was the right call to make Stacks win. That was during a time though where it was really hard. Like that's what we talked about earlier. I wish I need to go back and watch it and give it like my full attention, because I think it was probably better than I was like, because there was a lot going on there. And then Luca's back. He's not dead. So interesting stuff there. But yeah, it was all right. It was fine. Miles Bourne and Obafemi. I was
going to say that match was
really good.
Yeah. I liked how Obafemi had to do a little bit extra to beat him.
Yeah. A couple extra powers. I liked at the end where he did his finishing move, and then Miles kicks out, and then when he goes to do it again, he remembers, oh shit, he kicked out of this last time. I'm gonna just do it again.
Yeah.
And he puts some extra on it, and and then full circle, Dempsey wants No Quarter Catch Crew to get back to tag team wrestling, and Miles goes, "Nah, dude, I'm not going backwards. You see what I did on Sunday? If I beat you, I'm out." So he might be out of the Quarter Catch Crew come Tuesday.
Yeah, I think they got something special there with Miles Bourne. I think, I'm high on him.
How do you feel about Miles Bourne, Drew? Do you know who that is?
Yes, I do.
I only ask because you don't watch NXT, so I'm only asking because you don't watch NXT now.
I know 2 things about Miles Bourne. One, I know that he's deaf in one ear, right? Is it?
Yeah, partially deaf, I think.
Partially deaf in one ear. We talked about that on Firmly because of my deafness as well. And that he's like a Randy Orton lookalike.
Yeah, 2009 Randy Orton. That's exactly who he is. Looks exactly like 2009 Randy Orton.
That makes me wonder if Miles Bourne came into the PC when he did his tryouts and he had his whole list of ideas that he wanted to do, and they were off the wall, and they go, "Nah, you're Randy Orton 2.0, dude. Like, I don't care. Here, listen, throw all those ideas you had out, Miles. We're not doing those. You're getting the black trunks, the boots. You're going to get the tattoo going, and eventually you're just going to be Randy Orton, man. We've got a replacement."
Yep. And then we had this main event. Well, what actually I thought was really cool is they showed a video package for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and they got AJ Styles to narrate it. And I thought that was a wonderful touch. I was like, oh, hell yeah, AJ Styles. Look at that. So Joe Hendry defended his TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Trick Williams.
Not very well.
And Joe Hendry lost
yeah.
his TNA Heavyweight Championship to Trick Williams.
Trick
Williams, Trick and A, baby. Trick Williams is the new TNA Heavyweight Champion.
And if you're a diehard TNA supporter, if you are a staunch, like TNA is my promotion, that's what I watch, that's what I love, you are not having a good time over the last
Poor
few
Joel Pearl.
Now listen, I am not in the camp that they're burying TNA. I'm not in that camp.
I agree.
But I also can see where people would be like, son of a bitch. Like, our champion has just, his 2 big appearances has just been, yeah, but whatever.
Yeah, but he's doing this because the second his contract is up, he is signing a deal with
But again,
WWE.
if you're a staunch TNA supporter, you're like, this is bullshit. But
yeah,
it was a good match. I did think the ending was a little, I get it, Trick getting the heel heat. I did, like, the referee kind of was like, oh, what are you doing with the champ? Just take it from him, dude. You're the referee.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you let it sit in the ring, and then, you know, Trick hits his trick shot and everything, and it ends, and boom, we have a new TNA champion. And now he's fighting Mike Santana, which is an interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
He's fighting. Yeah, and I do think that whoever Trick loses to, which I think should be Santana, not on Tuesday, but down the line, it will happen at a TNA pay-per-view. It should be Slammiversary, like Kimmy said. And I think that'll be a giant moment for TNA, and it'll be a giant moment for Santana or whoever is the guy. And I think at the end of the day, listen, if you're a diehard TNA, I think you're right, Pluggo. I think if you were a diehard TNA guy that's been watching TNA for a long time, or TNA person, I should say, you're probably like, God damn it. But at the same time, sorry, and I hate to be one of those guys, but like this has people talking about the TNA World Title more than it was before this. You know what I'm saying? So like you have to look you got to look at it both ways a little bit. And then I think at the end, if the story is Mike Santana, because I feel like he is the logical choice, or if it's somebody else, but if it's Mike Santana winning the title back for TNA, because don't get me wrong, Trick Williams is going to go there and he's going to talk shit about TNA the whole time. He's going to say, I'm NXT, we're better than you, we have your belt, I'm this, I'm that. And it's going to become a thing where whoever's the guy that's going after Trick is going to be Mr. TNA. You got to bring it home for us, man. And I think if it happens at Slammiversary, it's somebody like Mike Santana. I think that's a big moment for him, and I think that's a big moment for TNA. So I think at the end of it, there will be a big moment for them.
I think it makes the partnership more interesting because I know a lot of people had said for a while now that, like, all the scrummy people from NXT are just going over to TNA. It's no one that's a big name. And every time a TNA star always goes over to NXT, they always lose. So what was the point of this? And now you finally have a big name who now has your title and is going to walk into your biggest show of the year with that title. And I think that's such a statement piece. And I think that for all those people who along the years are like, yeah, TNA is going to die out. TNA is going to die out. TNA is not going to die out anytime soon.
TNA's been around for going on 30 years. They're closer to 30 years than they are 10.
Yeah, I just think that the argument on the opposite side of that is, will we see a TNA wrestler win the NXT championship? Right, like we had Jordan. Yeah, that's where the staunch TNA side of it goes. Like, well, yeah, this is great exposure and it's fantastic, but when does one of our guys or gals beat one of theirs for their belt so that it feels more even?
The only person I could see doing it
should have been Jordan Grace.
You know who it's going to end up being. You know what girl it's going to end up being.
No. No. Stop that.
Don't you dare. Don't put that evil out on this show.
Never.
It's not evil.
It's crazy. It's also crazy that you said that, didn't say a word, and we all knew.
That would never happen. It would never. I would be shocked.
That's all. I'm not on the camp that I think it's a bad. I think it does give more exposure, but at the end of the day, it still does make TNA kind of look. Give them one. They need one now.
Listen, I think it's a fair trade.
Maybe tag belts or something. Maybe you could do something in their women's division now that you've just opened up 3 spots in, more than 3 spots.
Wait, didn't early on, didn't the Rascals win? Did they not? Did the Rascals not?
They might have had the tag titles for a second. I don't remember. But
right? Is that something that happened early on?
I don't remember.
No, I don't think
they
so.
won the NXT tag title.
Yeah,
maybe he
they challenged. Wait, didn't no?
I thought early on.
I thought Wentz did something.
Didn't Zach Wentz win a belt? No.
No, he won the X Division Championship and brought it to the NXT pay-per-view.
Okay. All right, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
okay.
he won it over Speedball.
Yeah.
But then Tuesday we don't have to. JC Jane is your new NXT Women's Champion.
Unbelievable.
I was sitting there watching NXT, and I'm like, that's a good match. Stephanie's gonna win. It's got Fatal Attraction's gonna get involved, or Fatal Influence. Sorry, is gonna get involved, and it's gonna be some weird thing, but she's ultimately gonna pull it out. And then that 1, 2, 3 happened, and every single person, including JC Jane, was like, what?
I love JC. I love Mike Rome. They show the announce. They show Mike Rome, and he's like, and the guy next to him's like, "Hey, you got to announce that she won." And he's like,
"Huh? Did she?"
In the winner, like, you had to be like, "Yo, dude,
wow."
Dude. And obviously that's the big moment of the night. But what's completely getting glossed over is earlier in the night, Ricky Saints lost the North American title to Ethan Page.
Yeah,
which was a shock when it happened. It was like, holy shit, what?
And now there's speculation that Ricky, Jordan, and Stephanie are
there. We go. Yep, they're saying Stephanie's going to Raw, Jordan's going to SmackDown, and I don't know where I missed where they said Ricky might be going if they said that.
Evolve.
But like, so that moment happens at the beginning of the show, and it's like, holy shit, wow, I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
And Ethan Page get that belt back. Then you get to the end of the show, and that was even more so unexpected that it kind of overshadowed everything. And I think it overshadowed everything because nothing about that would be awesome, Maria. Be better. Come on. Nothing about that would be better.
Yeah, so they
we have Hulk Hogan on WWE Pro coming up. I think one racist is enough.
All right, JC Jane has been there long enough to deserve it and has earned it, and it was an interesting shock. It's kind of like I told you, I said I think Stephanie's quick. I don't think it's going to be. That's why I was pulling for Jordan to win it at BattleGround, because I thought they did the test run with Stephanie up at Raw, and she killed it.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, we need to have her on this show because that's where the money's at. But JC Jane, I was like, holy shit, this is wild. Now it opens up a lot of new interesting possibilities because there's the problem with Fatal Influence. They're fighting with each other, so maybe that's a program. But now there's a hole at the top of there's some holes at the top of that women's division, which is still strong. So here we go. Strap in.
A lot of good opportunities for some peeps. My girl Ren Sinclair, hoping she finally gets
we love Ren Sinclair. Look, there's some opportunity for people that are currently on the NXT roster. There is some opportunity for people who have been maybe rumored to sign with WWE soon and head to NXT.
Who?
We already mentioned her in this podcast earlier on today.
No,
former AEW World Champion. I think that maybe could show up in NXT and immediately be World Champion on the women's side of things upon arrival.
I don't think she's going to go to NXT.
I don't think she would need to either, to be honest. But I'm just saying, I didn't think Jordan Grace was going to go to NXT, to be honest with you. And they had her go down there even for a small cup of coffee. So, but I'm saying that whole division down there is opened up, and you got people that have been there for a while. You got Kalani Jordan, who's been there a while. You have JC Jane. JC Jane is the champion, but you have Fallon Henley, where they've been kind of feuding with each other. Maybe that's the angle they do here. You have a Sol Ruka, you have a Zarya, who now, Zarya was like an embarrassment of riches when they signed her on top of Julia and all these people. Well, now they're all up here, so maybe NXT eventually, sooner than later, will be Zarya's kind of place to run here. There's a lot of interesting things that could happen. But yeah, that was a wild weekend of wrestling, yo.
And we all survived.
We did. We always do. We
Somehow.
always do. But anyway, anybody else? Anybody else want to accuse me of?
Oh,
Being a
here
bully?
we go.
Yeah. Anybody?
Well,
Kimmy said I was a bully last week.
Wow, you did?
You were.
No, because I said you couldn't be on a show that was already booked.
Yeah.
Listen.
You have 4 people on right now. Why couldn't you have 4 people on last week?
You don't understand. You don't understand. Do you
Am I
understand
wrong?
that if yes, because if you have a guest on that is
Yeah.
not normally like Auntie Collins has been on this show like twice ever.
Okay.
So she's on the show. That is her time to be the guest
Uh-huh.
on the show.
But I've also been the guest on the show and people have hijacked me.
Yeah, because you on your first appearance hijacked Jose.
That wasn't my fault. That was Pluggo's fault.
Ow, throw me under the bus,
Wow.
Kimmy. I've been on your side this whole time. I've been Team Kimmy.
Listen,
I think listen, I think the 3 of us have all been a victim of JPJ's bull and what I'm just kidding.
full disclosure. Full disclosure. I meant to text you. Full disclosure. I meant to text you, Kimmy, and say if you reach out to Auntie Collins and if she says it's okay, I'm good with it. But I took a nap and I fell asleep and I forgot to do it.
So this is your fault.
No, it's not. We had a great show last week. We had a great show tonight. So nothing is my fault. If anything,
Yes,
you're welcome.
because
You
if
had
you
the
wouldn't have
spotlight.
left, we
You
wouldn't
had the
have this
spotlight tonight
issue.
to your whole self until Drew showed up.
Would you be upset if we had like a therapy session, JPJ, where it was like we all sat and did a podcast where we kind of like talked
That
about
wouldn't be a therapy. Wouldn't that be, what do they call those?
like a support group, like a
No. What do they call those?
Intervention?
Intervention. That's what that would be, right?
No, where you weren't involved
would
and
be
it was
with
just us
you.
and we just all sat and just talked on a show about how
Maybe that's what this is right now.
Maybe.
That this is the intervention
you did.
for JPJ?
JPJ, you're a bully, JPJ.
I mean, the
You
only
are
thing
not a star.
I'm hearing right now is a bunch of unappreciated motherfuckers. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh,
I
here
know
we go.
it's typical to lash out in an intervention. I know.
You're gonna get up,
That's
start
all I
screaming, flipping the computer.
Live from the land of chowder and pain. JPJ's losing his.
That's my favorite thing of all time.
You haven't seen that? I listen. I think
Are
we're
we allowed to play it?
I think we're allowed here. I think we're allowed to play it.
We're gonna play it.
We're gonna play it. I will.
It's
sit in
amazing.
it here. If you haven't seen this yet, which I'm surprised you haven't seen, which means you don't pay attention to our social medias. Check this
I'm
out.
so sorry.
Live from the land of chowder and pain. JPJ's losing his freaking brain. Boston anger, turn up the heat. He's got opinions with no defeat.
That's amazing. Oh my god. That was
Justin,
wonderful.
thank you very much for that.
Even though I got yelled at for it, I think.
No, I will talk about it off. I think I figured it out.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
I think we're allowed to use assets that are already made.
Okay.
That's what I think the ruling was.
Fair. Okay.
We love a good ruling.
Don't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Pluggo. Do you think?
Well, I was just gonna say, if there's anything else we want to talk about, we went into overtime today.
We did. I mean, look, we got through all of them.
I'm partially to blame for that. I'll take blame.
No, there's no partial there.
True,
There's
it's
no
okay.
partial. There's no partial.
So there's no partial. He's
No
blaming.
partially there. You are 100% to blame. Why we went over. Not saying I'm upset about it.
Wow.
Just like I wasn't upset that you don't know bodies. Not upset at all.
Yes, Pluggo.
Jimmy Sokol, tell the fine people in the chat where they can find you and what you've got coming up before we lose a show pillar show.
Yeah.
I love wrestling.
I will steer us back on. Do not worry. Hello, everyone. You can follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_Sokol. You can follow me on Instagram at Kimmy.Sokol. For everyone in the Florida area, next weekend I will be in St. Augustine for River City Wrestling Con. We have 6 people going to this show. We have Sammy Guevara, Ty Mello, Mariah May, Mick
Oh.
Foley, and the recently released Priscilla Kelly and Elena Black will be making their first ever post WWE appearances at the show. There's also going to be a ton of wrestlers there. The entire Hurt Syndicate, as well as Cedric Alexander, is going to be there. Bret Hart is going to be there. The former Jakara Jackson will also be there. Layla L will be there, amongst others. So, again, if you're in the St. Augustine area, go to rivercitywrestling.com and get your tickets because it's almost sold out. And yeah, that's cool. And then at the end of the month, I will be at Nickel City Comic Con with Trish Stratus and Lita from my New York peeps. I gotta go to the Ella J and Jose Gonzalez land to go hang out with them for a weekend. And yeah, how is that a scoop?
That's where you're gonna be. That's a scoop on where you're gonna be, Kimmy. Jesus.
I was like, damn, I'm not dropping anything. I was confused. I'm so sorry. But yeah, thanks for having me, JPJ. Glad we were able to work with your schedule to let me on the show.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I
Drew?
was glad to have you until.
What about you, stud?
No.
All right. Well, I am Pluggo. You can find me all over the internet as Pluggo. You search Pluggo, I'm there. Saturday morning, I'll be back with my other co-host, Blair Pacheco of the Grain Maker Podcast. We'll be talking some independent wrestling, probably discussing some LPW 37, as that is tomorrow night on IWTV. Like I said, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. If you're in the Edmonton area, get there. There might be a few tickets still available. There might not be. Those things sell out quick. And then, yeah, between two beards, we got a lot of things coming up this summer. You'd be surprised. We got some things in the works. We're talking to some guests and things, making it happen. B2B for all, B2 Beards on all social medias to know what we got going on there.
Yeah. Potential big things.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Which would be nice. Yeah. You can follow me, JPJ Loves Gaming, on all social media platforms. Between Two Beards right here every Thursday night, 8 p.m., the flagship of Love Wrestling. Thursday mornings for now at 9 a.m. Firmly Inc. until Drew gets angry enough to leave me because he doesn't have a good enough new metal collection in his
Drew's getting
music library.
in his freaking brain.
Yeah. But no, Thursday mornings, 9 a.m., Firmly Inc., where Drew and I go into detail about the week that was in AEW and WWE. And then on Monday nights after Raw, you can catch me on Body Slam for the Raw Dogs post show. And on Wednesday nights after Dynamite, you can catch me over on Body Slam with Jose Gonzalez, our pal, that we've mentioned a few times tonight, for Dynamite Up. That's where you can find me. But if you follow JPJ Loves Gaming, you can find all the stuff there. And Pluggo already told you where to go for all the beard stuff. Yeah, man, we're going to be trying to have a balling out summer here at Between Two Beards.
I like it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And all next week, our pal Josh Robinson, one of the founding fathers here at Love Wrestling. He's got a cool little thing starting next week called The Hive. I know you've probably seen posts about it and things like that. It officially launches next week. I'll be doing a few things over there. I know that there is potential for both my hosts over here to my left to eventually be doing some stuff over there as well. But yeah, go check that out. We're going to have some wrestling, some regular pro sports, some video game stuff, some entertainment stuff. We're going to have written articles, podcasts, live video, audio, a bunch of cool stuff over there. So go check that out as well. So yeah, that's what I got, man. Appreciate you all being here. Kind of. Thanks for showing up. Good times. Yeah.
Say hi to Sue.
We're almost there, man. We're almost there. It's been a little late. Kimmy, thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Drew, good to see you twice today. Appreciate you as well. Pluggo, I love you, babe. So, yeah, we'll be back next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Till then, y'all know the drill. Say hi to Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Peace out. Put a little bit more. Say it with your chest. Plug.
Hi, Sue.
Hey there, Pluggo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. You know, get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch yourselves.